All right, recording is in progress at the six something minute mark. I guess technically this is the first episode of This That Rant. This is our test episode. It'll be
Episode
uploaded
-1.
because you have to upload a podcast, an episode, so you can get all your things started. So I guess this is our test run, and I know Randy will love this. So we have no plan right now. This is just basically we're testing our equipment, which already screwed up at the beginning.
That was
So
my bad.
I rarely ever use Zoom, so I have no idea. I had to text Griff, so shout out to Griff. He's the one who told me about the computer audio joining or whatever. So
We're technologically impaired.
yeah, we kind of are. And so basically, what is this podcast about? How would you explain it to somebody if they asked
How would
you?
I explain it to somebody?
Yeah. So then I'll just copy what you say.
Well, I think it depends on the week and what we want to talk about. I mean, it's going to be a mixture of
Of
sports,
everything.
pop culture. It's going to be a little bit of everything.
So basically, the title is pretty good. It's this, little of this, little of that,
Maybe a rant.
and
Gonna get thrown in.
hopefully you rant because you are Ramey rants. I mean,
You missed a good rant this afternoon, actually.
by
I had
who?
to,
You?
yeah, by me in the car with Kate. I had to pick up equipment that work was sending me. They were sending me a new computer monitor. They tried to deliver it to my house. I wasn't home. They only tried one time. Then they brought it to a UPS store. They left a little thing saying, pick it up at this store.
Yeah.
So I went there the next day. We don't have it. What do you mean you don't have it? It says it's going to be here. Like, yeah, we don't get the UPS shipments until like 5 p.m. So you're gonna have to come back tomorrow. Well, it said to pick it up the next day, and it is the next day, so I'm here. So I was like, fine.
They took it back that same day, and they don't get the return shipments until the
next
end of the
business day.
next day.
This
That was
on when this was Tuesday. I tried to get delivered. I went Wednesday to pick it up. They said, nope, won't get it till end of business day Wednesday. It's like, fine, whatever. So I went back today to get it. I go in there, hand the lady the little slip saying I'm here to pick up a package. She's typing in the computer. Do you have the tracking number? It's on the slip. That's how I knew it was here.
Gave you the slip. Yeah.
If you had the tracking number, we'd be able to look it up. I just handed it to you. It says the package is here. Is it maybe under a different name? No, my work sent it to me. It's under my name. This went on for like a good 10 minutes. Kate's outside. I'm looking back at her like I'm about to lose my mind.
A real
Finally,
life rant.
a 16-pound freaking box because it's a huge computer monitor. Lady finally, it was mixed up behind a bunch of packages. It's a big fucking package.
Yeah. How many? What were the packages in front of it?
I'm not even exaggerating. It had my name on it with the font as big as my cell phone. Just said Ramey, huge bold letters. Yeah, it's under a different fucking name. It's Bart Simpson. You jackass.
They couldn't find it.
Couldn't find it. I was raging in the car.
That reminds me of the Seinfeld clip that I've seen on TikTok because I haven't watched that show where they're like, he made a reservation for the rental car. And they were like, oh, we got your reservation. We just don't have the car. Like, that's the whole point of the reservation is so you hold the car.
Anybody can just take reservations.
Yeah, exactly. Not a big Seinfeld guy. Show is fine, but like he's like the fourth funniest person on the show. Maybe not even that high.
Who would you have him funnier? Costanza's number one.
I think all three of the other characters are funnier. I think Newman's funnier. I just don't like Jerry Seinfeld. Basically, he's not.
Is it because he's a Mets fan?
He's a douchebag. He supported Jay Leno in that whole Conan debacle. So I just never liked him since then. I just don't think he's that funny. Like, what's the deal with airline food? That's not.
And the cat's making
funny.
Her first appearance on the podcast.
You need to get her a computer so she'll mimic you. I sent you that video like 8 years ago. The cat will mimic you on the laptop.
Didn't take long. That was a solid what were we 4 minutes in?
Yeah, pretty much.
And she's coming back across. Thank you.
It's always nice to see some pussy. It's a rare these days.
We're seeing.
So, like, what are the main topics we're going to talk about? Definitely a lot of wrestling focus, a lot of AEW versus WWE crap. We're more on the WWE side. I'd say we lean. If it was a political spectrum, we're not quite far left of the WWE, but we're like definitely
but
maybe
I think
more
in this
progressive.
Scenario, wouldn't WWE be far right?
I no, because I associate myself with the left, so I'm not saying I don't want to be.
Fair
I don't
enough.
want to be on the right of anything.
Fair enough. And I'm lefty, so that kind of works out in my favor.
Like I hate I hate aspects of AEW, so that'll be like a weekly thing. And then,
I enjoy most of the product. It's
Don't lie. Don't lie.
I do. It's
Really?
Tony Khan. Tony Khan, I find just incessantly annoying.
Their fan base is horrendous.
And the fan base can be unobjective.
Like there's a lot
Biased?
of crappy WWE fans also, but like, oh my God, they turned me off to the product. I think before they even started, they'll sign like the most mediocre person ever, and it's the best thing they've ever done. I instantly was just like, no. Plus,
But they
also,
wouldn't fully sign Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona. I mean, so they got that
that's a
going for them.
positive. Like I can list some positives of AEW, but then NXT went live on Wednesday, so they had no chance. I was never gonna pick AEW over that. And like I can't watch wrestling if it's not live, so I'll DVR it and then I just won't watch it.
Well, at least now you can because NXT's on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's true. But my work schedule is so screwed up to where I have to leave my house at like 6:15 for like a 9 o'clock shift. So I sit in my car for 2 hours before work just to avoid
Just so you
traffic.
miss traffic.
Yeah, because if I sit in an hour of traffic before work, I'll kill myself at work. Like I can't do it. I sit
So
in
what you
traffic
should
going
do
home.
is watch AEW sitting in your car waiting for work. You can fast forward through the commercial.
Yeah, but I
you
don't
won't
want to
know what happened.
But I don't want to be angry at work. I just see the stupid garbage that they do and how amazing Eddie Kingston and CM Punk were. Ugh, I can't. But I didn't. I
Did you
have
see
no.
that? Did you see that?
No,
promo?
I just saw people were tweeting about it. Some people were saying like it was overrated, but most of the comments were, "This is the most amazing thing. I'm so hype." Like, I'm sorry, CM Punk World is welcome for me. I have no interest.
Well, at least now he's 2 weeks in a row or 2 episodes in a row of TV where he's cut a different promo.
That's true. He spent what 8 weeks? It felt like saying the same
solid-
thing. Somebody had a
6 to 8
good
weeks.
tweet where it was like, I'm sick of his crowd banter. Like, hey, do you want to see me fight Eddie Kingston? Like, get out of here, dude. That's not cool. That's lame.
I'd rather watch him fight number 5, maybe number 10 from the Dark Order.
How many people in the Dark Order are there? Do they actually
Way
have
too many.
numbers?
Some of them have numbers, not all of them.
Like, I know there's like, I actually don't know. I know negative
CM
one.
Punk
is
versus
Brody's
negative
kid.
1. Book it. Let's go.
Isn't that Brody's kid?
Yes, it is.
John with no H.
John with no H. Yes, Kalisto should have learned.
we'll
that,
have
or
to
Samurai
find-
Day Soul.
We'll have to follow Dick Van Klondike on Twitter and just like write down certain incidents and talk about those, because that's the whole Chris Jericho ridiculous stuff. Lindsay Dorado this week or today. I don't know if it was today, yesterday. That whole
It was the
incident
last couple days.
pretty funny. So if you're listening to this somehow and you have no idea who we are, hopefully you like wrestling, because that's gonna be a large portion of what this podcast is going to
Well,
be.
I think we'll talk a lot of mainstream sports too, depending on what's
Wrestling's
happening.
mainstream. Come on.
Well,
Like
professional
real
sports,
sports.
not
Yeah.
sports, real sports, not sports.
Football,
entertainment.
basketball, baseball, hockey. We're
Hockey.
both big, huge rugby fans. I know you love the. I don't even know the name of the rugby league to joke that you have any idea about it. Basically,
Professional lacrosse, obviously too.
oh yeah, of course. And
Take me to
then
that.
anything sports related. I would try not to get too political, but there's always going to be some COVID idiot we want to talk about.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that we could do a whole friggin' segment on Aaron Rodgers right
Well,
now.
we were talking about I was going to have to do the COVIDiot of the week. Aaron Rodgers, boom, done.
I think he might be the COVIDiot of like the year, because he
Ooh.
came out of nowhere. He wasn't like, I didn't expect him to be that stupid.
He actually makes Kyrie Irving seem rational.
Yeah. I don't know if Kyrie Irving consulted Joe Rogan.
No, he hasn't really spoken out or talked about his stance on things. Aaron Rodgers was the gotcha moment. Like, consulted Joe Rogan and things he did from his podcast. Fuck yourself.
He made Pat McAfee almost start corpsing on air when he said, I consulted with my good friend Joe Rogan. Even Pat was like, what?
The look on his face, like he had to hold his hand over his mouth. It was beautiful.
Like,
It
I
was
have
beautiful.
so much respect for Pat now, because that made me mark out, because he knew like this is stupid. Like, Pat's a guy I would expect to have been like anti-vax or whatever. He still could be, but even he knows Joe Rogan is not a good source for medical advice.
I'm pretty sure, and I could definitely be wrong, but when Pat had COVID, I think he
Oh,
said
that's right, he
was
did have
vaxxed.
it.
Yeah, he did have. I think Pat said he was vaxxed when he had. I could be
That's
completely
right. I
wrong.
forgot about that. He probably is. But I don't know why Aaron Rodgers didn't just say that in the beginning, or why nobody followed up. Yeah, I've been immunized. If you don't say the answer is yes, are you vaccinated? You're not vaccinated.
But then at the same
Unless you
time,
work for
when-
Fox News and you want to hide it.
Yeah, but then some of them he can actually talk about how they are, but then it's shunned by Tucker.
Yeah.
But even when he said that he was immunized, and the camera didn't catch me doing the quotation saying immunized, the NFL knew at that point that he, the cockamamie, homeopathic things that he had done, they had already rejected, saying that you're not immunized.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
So based on that, the entire season, the Packers have not been following COVID protocols because he's supposed to be wearing a mask.
That's true. Yeah.
So they've knowingly allowed him, knowing he's not quote unquote vaccinated under the NFL rules.
They definitely knew, or they had to have known, right?
Yeah, and the NFL has, and they just let it. They were willing. It seems like they were just willing to sweep it under the rug because had he not tested positive for COVID, nobody would effing know.
Well, I don't understand why he said he was pissed his status got leaked. Like, if you were vaccinated, you'd get 2 negative tests. You could be back. You're unvaccinated. You're out 10 days. We know you're unvaccinated now because you have to sit out 10 days. It wasn't leaked. You're an idiot.
Exactly. 100%. And Jordan, did you see Jordan Love's press conference yesterday? Be like, I'm fully vaccinated and ready to play.
Did he say that? That's
while wearing a mask because he said he was a close contact of Aaron Rodgers.
Is that is that a shot at Aaron Rodgers?
It should be.
I mean, I tweeted this the other day. Green Bay has had like a moron at quarterback for like 30 years consecutively. It's incredible.
But we didn't know Aaron Rodgers was a moron.
But he was. There's no way he just changed. Like he's probably been a moron this whole time.
No, that's very valid, but he hit it very well.
I don't know if is he just a moron about this, because he did say one good thing where he's like, I don't care about right or left. You're both going to vilify. One will vilify me, one will like champion me, but I don't care about any of this.
But I think that's bullshit.
That's probably, I don't know. I think it's true. He's just like, I'm doing my own thing and this is it. And he looks like an idiot. It took, although the ivermectin, isn't there like an ivermectin you can take that's not for horses? Because people always say
they have it for, it's an anti-parasitic for humans, but they've done study after study saying it doesn't not treat COVID.
But people keep saying like horse paste, and it's like, there is a human one you can take, but it's just
there definitely is. But there, you saw all those videos of people actually going to the Tractor Supply company and buying the horse dewormer.
Like
that's not the one to take.
People are everywhere on Twitter. Well, you can't tag, even if you just tweet me something without tagging me in something, somebody will find it and there'll be a whole argument where I'll have to like mute somebody. But if you tag me in something, there's always people there. What was that last one? The person deleted it. It's like, oh, who knew you could still get it or something like that? And
he hadn't realized that Aaron Rodgers wasn't vaccinated.
Yeah, he said something like, "Oh yeah, you're vaccinated. You can still get it. Who knew?" Like, he's not vaccinated, and then he deleted the tweet. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was that was a success. That's a hard word to say. Success story. The fact that they didn't try to argue it, they were actually screwed up. My bad.
And then just that guy tried to explain it, and I was like, dude, don't even bother. They don't care. It's just they do not care. It's so. Twitter's a cesspool of disgusting garbage.
Well, not just Twitter, too.
They're still on it everywhere. Well, Facebook is worse for misinformation. Meta.
Yeah, Meta.
Yeah, so we'll talk about all that garbage, right? Anything that happens, like a giant company changes its name, talk about that, ranting.
Yeah, we'll touch on everything. I mean, like we said, we're going to try not to be political, but sometimes it's hard not to.
But we also have to like do prep work, which I'm notorious for not doing.
Yeah, you're going to have to do your homework.
Like, I don't know if we can keep up a weekly pace based on how lazy I am and how I go to bed at like 8:00, but hopefully we can find one day a week to actually make like a weekly episodic podcast and break Raw's record when Tony Khan buys
saying
WWE.
That I'm going to have to do most of the homework with the.
I feel like that's segments. What you like to do anyway. You do spreadsheets and shit for our picks and stuff. This will not be a not safe for work podcast. A little bit of swearing. I try to curb my enthusiasm. Get it? I try to curb my swearing so it's not terrible, so we don't get flagged, but it happens. I get angry.
I will try to limit my expletives to like 10 an episode.
Like I was angry when we first got on and we couldn't hear our audio. I was like, I want to stab you because it was your fault, even though it wasn't your fault. I was like angry. I'm not gonna be angry at myself, so I was just like angry at you.
No, I mean it
must be your
my
computer.
Fault, but in my defense,
like I wanted it should have just worked.
The audio. I'm selecting the Yeti.
Yeah, you still heard
like
it. That. I mean, good thing Griff. Second mention of Griff. Good thing he's Zoom master, so he just told me what to do, so that worked. So hopefully this goes smoothly. So we're at 20 minutes. What are we shooting for every week? An hour, 2 hours? I feel like
don't want to. Go ahead.
I feel like once we get talking, we can talk for a while. So like an hour seems short sometimes, depending on what we're talking about. So it'll probably be I would say not over 2 hours an episode. That seems like overkill.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember the episode that we did with Griff, what was that, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, that was 2 hours. Ago?
That went by fast.
Yeah. So like I could see that happening. But we do 2 hour GoPod episodes because Alex would have to come to the house and it would be a very random schedule. So this whole Zoom stuff is pretty there's really no excuse to not do this.
Exactly. Especially since we don't live together anymore.
But yes. And like maybe we can grow an audience. Who knows? Alex's random weed podcast somehow has people on like, I forget what he was saying, like Scandinavia or some weird stuff. He has viewers that are like that don't know them. So
Maybe
who
we can be
knows?
big in Bosnia or Uruguay.
Hey, I'll take anything. Djibouti in Africa, they get podcasts? Probably not.
Nah, I maybe the
So,
affluent members of Djibouti.
so what other topics? We got sports, wrestling, current events, a little bit of politics, TV.
We'll try to have
Oh,
some
that's all
weird
entertainment.
things.
We could go. I feel like we should do a segment of the unusual deaths because that's a throwback to when we were in college, and we would read that like there's a Wikipedia page that just has unusual deaths from like the beginning of time, and I feel like that would be a fun segment, and just
We could do that.
random weird stuff because we have to be different. Like how many podcasts are there talking about sports and entertainment? Like we're
Yeah,
gonna
but
be
how
different.
many of them have two douchebags like us?
That's true. I'm just gonna copy.
Actually, probably a lot.
that yeah, I'm probably just gonna copy Making a Murderer or True Crimer and then just watch his videos and just recite those to you guys.
Can we shout him out and get him on the podcast? Love that guy.
I mean, Griff got the Talking Giants guys and he's gotten like real guests on his podcast, so like I don't know.
I'm addicted to that guy's TikToks. He's like, "Hello, true crimerers."
Yeah,
I just
he
love
got-
when he says that.
TikTok's just garbage though. They suspend you for no reason and stuff. Like his content was gone for a while and he got his account back recently. But he always shows up on my For You page. Maybe we'll make a this that rant TikTok. Although I haven't figured out how to make a secondary account because I see people have like 9 accounts and I don't know how to make even another one.
Do you have to like log in and out with different email
I
addresses?
have no idea. It's not like I
Like,
don't
can
know
you
if
have
it's like,
one account for two accounts for one email address?
I know you can have a business account, but I haven't tried to like Twitter. You can switch between accounts. Like Instagram, I have like 5 accounts for some reason.
That's a little weird.
By the way, well, I'll show you what they are. Let's see. We have mine. And perfect time to not load. Thank you. Mine. I have the Awesome Lorenzo Bros. I have my Bobby Fish one, which I gave up right quick. I have a backup one for some
Wait, that
reason.
was you?
Yeah, that was a
I
long.
thought it was. You.
I was on a Instagram live like last year maybe, and I made a joke or somebody made a joke that I should make a Bobby Fish collector, and I was like, yeah, I'll be Bobby Fish collector 69. They're like, you should do that. So I just made that. And then I had Awesome Lorenzo Bros a backup, and then this podcast one, which has one post. So if you somehow found this Instagram, this that rant, followed by just us so far. I haven't because we have no episodes yet. I didn't want to start spam following people, so they're like,
Well, if you want something kind
nothing.
of cool, Kate was sitting on the couch earlier, and she
Who's
was
that?
like, "My wife."
he is married. I am not.
Surprisingly, somebody's decided to put up with me for the rest of my life. She was scrolling on Instagram, and that came up as a suggested follow for her.
And
she didn't follow
And she
us.
didn't follow
She
us.
didn't follow
We
us.
can't even get one of the hosts' wives to follow. So we are screwed.
Yeah, it's not going to be good.
So I tried to put like a background for this. Like I have a huge poster of just Dexter I was going to put as the background, but I have no push pin. So maybe next episode. And I put this devil's thing covering up the floor fans because I feel like that's better than just seeing that the entire
Yeah, well, you
episode.
can see the random lamp I have in my office because I haven't gotten correct lighting yet.
It looks good. It looks good. How's my lighting? Because you do look a little dark.
Yeah, it's not a good light in here. I have to get better lighting. We just moved in 6 days ago, so
No excuse. You should have everything set up perfectly for this podcast that's going to explode so you can quit your job. Do you imagine
Kinda
that? Just somehow some millionaires like, I love these guys. I'm going to pay them millions of dollars to just make episodes. It's the
Bill
dream.
Simmons, the ringer, they're gonna pick us up.
Or maybe we can go to John Boy Media. Maybe go to Jake and Amir's Headgum. This podcast is going to
John
blow
Boy
up.
Media would be good. We got to get them getting a wrestling podcast on there.
They don't have one.
I don't think so.
We could easily do that. So yeah, I have an HD camera that I bought on Amazon. You bought us what? Yeti mics and headphones. If you notice,
Yeti
our
mics and
equipment
headphones.
is exactly the same thing. Got the same bundle. I even got like a USB port thing where I can plug them all in there in the back. So we splurged for this, or you splurged. I spent like $15 on the camera.
And now with my new monitors I've gotten for work, once I get my HDMI splitter for my laptop tomorrow, I'll actually have 3 monitors going at a time.
So they sent you a monitor
yes.
or like a full-on computer. So you
A
or
full-
you like
I already have a computer from work.
so
They
you
sent
can
me a
plug it in
monitor.
and get like a multiple screen. That's nice.
Yeah, I'll be able to have 3 screens.
All right. So we have,
That'd be nice.
since we did no prep for this, we have no topics. Is there anything you wanted to talk about?
I mean, we could talk
specifically.
about the NFL this week. Braves winning the World Series. What's your fancy?
How many innings did you watch of the World Series?
I usually watch whenever the Braves were hitting. I wanted no part of when the Braves were pitching and the Astros were hitting. I wanted no part of that.
I honestly, I'm pretty sure I didn't turn it on once.
Really?
I don't watch baseball is one of the sports that I don't watch if the Yankees aren't playing. Like I have no interest. Like hockey playoffs, the best. Devils aren't in it. I'll watch everything I can. Awesome. Football, obviously, that's the best. NBA, I don't really care about anyway. But like baseball, just like it pisses me off because the Yankees are supposed to win, and I have no interest in watching. What was also the Astros and the Red Sox? Like I'm never gonna watch that ever. That was brutal. Like it
Did
was
you
just,
at least
no thanks.
see Jorge Soler's home
No.
run?
None of it.
I even tweeted it to you.
You did?
Yeah.
Because I woke up the next day after they had won, and it said Jorge Soler wins MVP after a 3 home run game. And I was like, wait, what? He hit 3 home runs? I was like, it was a 3-run home run. I was like, damn you, Fox News, with this stupid headline.
It was the same day that you and I were talking about the Albert Pujols absolute monster shot he hit in, was it 2005?
Yeah.
Off of Brad Lidge. And it was Albert Pujols-esque.
Really? That bad? That deep? That destroyed?
He absolutely crushed that ball.
Thank God. It's insane that the Astros have now been to 3 World Series and they lost to NL East teams twice. Like,
so now click on that link I just sent you.
from Ramey to everyone, you sent it in Zoom. Wow. Let's see. I don't know if the audio is going to come through.
It probably won't.
Can you
just
hear
need to
that?
see no.
So it's only coming through to me. Oh my God, he's patting his chest immediately. That went out of the stadium.
Yeah, that
is
was
the
Albert
exact same.
Pujols-esque.
I just dawned on me that he did that against the Astros. So yeah, it was like the exact same spot. That's pretty amazing.
Why do you think I sent it to you? He absolutely
Now I don't know how to get the chat to go away.
Hit the little arrow.
Okay, there we go.
And say close.
Yeah, so thank God the Astros lost. Like I was basically rooting for teams to lose the entire postseason. That's basically what we do.
You've seen those things come out saying the Astros have never won the World Series in 3 attempts.
Yeah, of course they have one fake championship, and they were probably cheating the last time they went to. But it's insane. What was the Nationals' record the year they won? Like they won the division, or were they a wild card team? Because the Braves weren't good. Like that division is garbage, and yet they got really hot, and they did us all a favor by beating the cheaters.
What year did the Nationals win? What, 2019?
2 years ago, yeah, 2019. Like I wouldn't root for the Braves normally, but I'm super
Nationals
happy they
were
won.
a wild card that year. They were 93 and 69. Giggity.
And I'm guessing the Braves won the division that year.
Yeah, they went 97 and 65. Astros were a ridiculous 107 and 55.
I mean, they won the first 2 games in Houston. So we're all like, yeah, this is going to be good. Then they lose the next 3 at home. So you're like, all right, we're screwed. And then they win game 6 and 7 in Houston. That's amazing. And then the Braves somehow lose. Oh, I think they lost like 15 outfielders and they decided to buy and ended up winning the World Series. Like, that's incredible.
I mean, they traded for who? They traded him to Adam Duvall, Jock Peterson, Jorge Soler. Then
Rosario?
Eddie Rosario.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't trade. Did they not trade for Adam Duvall and they had him on the team?
My Braves knowledge is a little rusty. Sorry. I don't know. I know
check.
they got Rosario because
Yeah, so they traded for Adam Duvall on July 30th.
Was Jock Peterson a trade or did they have him all year?
Jock Peterson was traded to the Braves on July 15th.
I can't believe they didn't give up. Like, who did they lose? They lost to
Ronald
Acuna.
Acuna.
He tore his ACL.
They
Ozuna
lost their best pitcher.
Ozuna was a piece of garbage. Was there another outfielder? Wait, what pitcher did they lose? What was his face?
Soroka.
That's insane. Charlie Morton breaks his leg in the World Series.
On July 30th, they also traded for Eddie Rosario.
He was having a crappy year. So was Soler. Soler was destroying my fantasy team.
On July 30th, the Braves also traded for Jorge Soler.
Yeah, he was supposed to have like 30 home runs. He was awful. So got rid of him. Unbelievable.
But also then even in the playoffs, I think it was the divisional round, Soler got COVID. had to be out.
Oh yeah,
He didn't
that's
come
right.
back until game one of the World Series, hit a home run.
That's insane.
He's
Why don't
and
the Yankees ever? That's what pisses me off. We were that team in 2017. We were the underdogs for first time in since '96 for forever, and that pisses me off so much that we came so close, and that Joe Girardi still would have gotten fired, or well, technically not renewed. It's depressing. The Yankees suck.
I'm still upset that we let Girardi go.
Yeah, but he's not a great manager either. Philly fans hate him.
Well, I mean, Philly is now the Yankees of Pennsylvania. They got everybody that used to be a Yankee.
Didi, who else?
Ronald Reyes.
Oh my God, the Tonight Show.
They have like Kevin Long. They have Girardi now. I mean, they have Kevin Long now. They have Girardi.
It's kind of impressive that the Braves, the Mets were in first place for like 100 games, the longest I think ever to not make the playoffs, which is hilarious. And as bad as the Yankees are, at least we're not Mets fans. Like, I don't know what it is about them. They have new owners, and yet it's the same. Nobody wants to go there. I don't understand it. Like, can you explain? I don't understand why he's so bad. He's worth like $13 billion.
I think part of that's got to be Sandy Alderson. It has to be part of it.
That's true. Like, why would you clean house? Like,
And
just,
Cohen is willing to spend money. He's willing to do
he's
things.
still willing to spend money after what's his face, Lindor.
I think so. I think they're going to shell out a couple, probably 120, 130 million for Baez, maybe more.
Yeah.
I think they're willing. He's willing to spend money, but him tweeting, it's always tweets. Like you said it, social media is just fucking stop tweeting. People.
Imagine
Just
George
stop tweeting.
Steinbrenner on Twitter during the 90s or something.
He would
Oh
have
my
been
God.
banned quicker than our former president.
Oh God.
But I think Cohen just needs to stop tweeting. I think that's probably turning people off.
Well, they did what with their stuff where they were booing the fans or thumbs down with the fans. Like you're paying $341 million to what's his face Lindor to hit what? What did he hit? 210? Like
He actually
like
ended up
230,
getting better as the season went on.
but the
he
team
finished-
got worse.
I want to say he finished semi-respectable. He finished the season batting, never mind.
What was it?
230, 20 home runs, 63 RBIs, a 322 OBP.
I feel like he got up to 230. Like he was not hovering around that. He was probably lower. What a waste.
Yeah, he had a rough. That was his worst season of his career, obviously.
Yeah. Coinciding with signing with the Mets. I don't buy into like changing leagues. I forget what Alex was talking about it, where it was like he's just not actually that good. There was something going on there where he's just not that good. I don't.
I mean,
understand.
if you look at his career stats, I mean, he discount 2015. He only played 99 games. Where he had a good season in 2015. That was really his rookie year. He finished second. His first full season in the bigs, he hit 301 with 15 homers. Not bad. He's 22 years old. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Then he went to 273 with 33 homers.
So he tried to
Average
get his
went
power
down.
numbers up, but I'd take that.
2018, 277 with 38 homers. Also led the league in plate appearances, at-bats, and runs scored. He scored 129 runs.
That's a good all-around player. And he was good on defense.
2019, the offensive boom of 2019, he hit 284, 32 homers. So
his homers went down in the juice ball somehow.
His
His average.
RBIs went down as well. He only had 74. He's never his career high in RBIs was in 2018 when he had 38 homers and 92 RBIs.
That's good for like what, a leadoff hitter, two hitter. That's pretty good.
His COVID shortened 2020 season, he dropped to 258, 8 homers. So, 8 homers in 60 games.
You can throw that one out. That's sort of just a weird season. Although it sort of showed the Yankees what they actually were, where they couldn't hit.
8 homers in a 60 game season, that puts you on average about, almost 22. So power numbers once again dwindling down. And then this season, he only played 125 games because remember, he was hurt. Hit 20 homers, 63 RBIs.
Did he get hot at all? Like, I feel like there was one stretch where he like started to come out of it because that's pretty good for somebody who did nothing all year. He had 20 home runs. So it's not bad.
He was god awful in April, May. So now, looking at his stats by month, he had one good month. This is his batting averages by month. March, April, 182.
Oof. Gary Sanchez-esque.
May, 204.
Ooh, getting up there.
June. How'd June go? June, 241.
Oh, wow.
July, 333.
Wow. So July, he really picked it up.
Only played 12 games, then he got hurt.
Of course. There you go. Yeah, that makes sense.
August, because he came back end of August, played 7 games, 160.
Yeesh.
September, October, end of the season. That's when he actually had his best. 257, hit 9 homers, 25 RBIs.
Hopefully
So he
that
finished the season strong.
I hope he sucks. Like I can't root for the Mets. I'm sorry.
If you're paying somebody that much money, you're expecting MVP numbers every season. And that's frankly not him.
I mean, $341 million. That's nuts. I mean, are the guys on the free agent market now going to top that? I don't think
Corey
Corey
Seager.
Seager
I think they're going to
anywhere
get the 300. I think they'll get 300 million.
How can you justify Corey Seager getting $300 million?
If you're paying him for 10 years,
How could you justify him getting 10 years? There's very few people who have $300 million contracts, and like very few until like Machado, Harper, and what did Tatis get? Did he even get 300?
Tatis,
Yeah,
didn't he get more?
he got like it was a deal where you're like he's getting underpaid. Like I think the Padres got a really good deal. Like I want to say it was like 240 or something.
Oh, it was 14 years, 340 million.
Oh, that's right. He signed for 14 years. So the San Diego Padres have two $300 million people. That's insane.
Which at the time was the third richest in MLB history behind deals signed by Mike Trout and Mookie Betts, and the richest signed by any player not yet eligible for salary arbitration.
So he got 340.
340.
That's why Lindor got 341, even though he's not. I would take that. Why would you sign a 14-year deal?
I mean, let's be real. The Padres are going to trade him like 6 years into that.
You think so? To us?
No, he'll be like 37 when he gets traded to the Yankees.
Or signs with the Yankees on a 1-year minor league deal. Yeah, so who are we signing? Corey Seager?
I would bet that we sign Seager.
Well, then what pitcher are we signing?
No, we're going to have to trade for a pitcher. There's not really a lot of...
We have to trade. Nobody wants Gary Sanchez.
We need to get rid of Sanchez. We need to get rid of Glaber. I can't.
I think Glaber needs a full season at second base before I give my final judgment on him. But he's not as good as he was in the juice ball. And he probably never will be. Like they need to find something that was like the juice ball, but not as crazy. They need to
find some happy medium.
Yeah. Because that was more fun in 2019 than it was before Spider Tack got banned. But I miss when Garrett Cole was like worth the money. Now he's just like a good number one. He's not like he's going to go out there and have a sub-2 ERA like DeGrom.
Well, I think he could. I mean, you have to remember.
Yeah, if we went back in time.
I think I've said this to you. If you look at a lot of the pitchers in baseball this year, they broke down. They started getting tired because they went from throwing 60 innings the year before to now trying to throw 200. Let's see how he bounces back next season. I think next season you're going to get a full depiction of what Garrett Cole will be for us.
I'm more nervous than like, I'll just give him the benefit. People are like, yeah, he'll be fine. Like he was pretty bad in September. Like,
but
really
also
bad.
Remember he pulled his hamstring and then pitched through it.
You gotta show up a little bit better than you did against Boston. They shouldn't have even started him at that point.
I am honestly the most pessimistic person you've probably ever met.
Then you got to give when
it comes to sports.
You got to give Glaber another year. Then
no, fuck him.
He needs Gary. I'm fine. Done. He shouldn't play defense ever. But let me get Glaber a year at second base and see what he does.
I'm just gonna segue for 1 second. We're gonna get back to my hate for Glaber. Tatis missed 30 games because he kept separating his shoulder.
I'm surprised it was only 30 games.
He ended up playing 130 games. Dude hit 42 home runs.
Yeah, what was his RBIs?
If he played the full 162,
he probably would have
He would have had like 53 homers, like 130 RBIs.
They got a good deal, even though it's a ridiculous contract. He could have.
He's only 22. He's going to be a free agent at 35. My God, the Yankees are going to sign him when he's 35.
He could have eventually gotten 400 something, but he took them. Which I mean, I probably wouldn't turn. I would have asked for less years because 14 seems like a lot. I wouldn't have wanted more than 10, but I mean, he getting the money up front. He could get hit by a bus tomorrow and never play, and he's set. So I don't blame him.
I'm honestly surprised that he didn't ask for like opt outs or anything. Like
Yeah, that's a little weird that there's like a zero. Like I don't know if I could commit to 14 years of the Padres. Well, look how much they underachieved already. Everyone had them making the playoffs.
Yeah, a lot of people had them going far. I mean, who thought the Giants were going to be as good as they were?
Oh, I did. I predicted them to win the division by 1 game.
No, I'm talking the San Francisco Giants, not the New York Giants.
No, I had the Giants winning by 8 games. No, yeah, but like the Padres just like they underachieved, and Yu Darvish probably got screwed way more than anybody with the spider tech. Him and John Means, like awful. Like John Means is not good. He's just not good.
Not Yu Darvish bad though.
That's he was probably second, but Yu Darvish would have like a 5.6 ERA. Like bring back spider tech. I don't mind it. People are still hitting home runs. That's because we have Garrett Cole and he kind of needs it. But I would be
I think a lot of pitchers need it.
I would be a little ticked off if I signed Garrett Cole. I wonder if they knew. They probably knew he was using that stuff.
I think it's just known that everybody uses it, and it's just if you're not egregious with it, like that time, Pineda had the pine tar
on his neck. Yeah.
It's just understood that that's.
But like if I'm Brian Cashman, I'm like, I just signed this fucking white whale who I've wanted forever, and he's not as good as what he's getting. So now we have to pinch pennies elsewhere. Like, too bad you can't convert money into like a signing bonus, so like the luxury tax goes down. When did they adopt that NFL rule? They get the salary cap, but there's so many ways to circumvent it. You're never over if you're over the cap, you're an idiot. Like even the Giants and Gettleman can get under it by doing whatever. Oh, we gave you this contract, let's restructure it. Or if you're like Tyreek Hill, you say no because you have no understanding of how
the Giants are still over the cap though right now, right?
Did they go over?
Yeah, I want to say.
I thought they just freed up some space.
I want to say when Odell Beckham Jr. obviously getting put on waivers, they were going through like all the teams that could potentially put in a claim for him and how much money they would.
There were like 6 or 7 teams that have that $7 million.
It's like $7.5 million or something like that, but. It was Field Yates. I'm actually going back to try to look for the tweet.
Field Yates. Great name.
Looking for it. I'm scrolling. I don't remember. It had to be from yesterday because that was when. Okay, so he tweeted yesterday. Here's a look at how much cap space each NFL team officially has. 12 teams have north of $5 million in space.
It's crazy. There's very little cap space.
I'm sorry. The Giants do have cap space. I apologize.
Is there anyone who's still over the cap?
No, everybody has cap room. The Falcons have the lowest amount. They have $733,000.
How is a team that horrible?
The Saints have just under 1.1 million.
It's amazing they're even competitive this year.
They're 31st. The Giants are 30th. They have 1.4 million. How are the Giants that bad? Oh, it's because of Nate Solder.
That's a pretty big one. Yeah, he sucks. And we have a lot of people who suck. I mean, I'm sure Kenny Galladay's a waste of cap space.
The Bucks only have 2.9 million. They're 21st.
Oh, God.
Cowboys have 4 million. Not really going to do much with it now.
I'm sure they'll be able to defer something and do something, I'm sure, just to piss me off.
Well, I mean, obviously the Cowboys should not sign Odell Beckham Jr.
No, they're definitely not going to. They don't need it. They don't need him.
I honestly think the Jags will. Because that would be hilarious.
Why would he want? I mean, I guess
if they put a claim in for him, you can't say no. He's on
waivers. I guess he could just bitch his way out of there again.
If he clears waivers, then he's free to sign anywhere. But somebody's got to put in a waiver claim for him.
He's a head case and he's making a lot of money. I don't know. Who are the teams that have the space?
Teams that likely have the space. Titans are probably on the fringe. Don't really think they need him when they got AJ Brown and
they already have Julio Jones, who's doing nothing.
The Texans, I mean,
no. Why would they waste the money?
Bengals? They already got Jamar.
I mean,
I saw Boyd.
Yeah, people were tweeting where T. Higgins is better. I wouldn't. They need help elsewhere.
The Washington football team, no
reason to claim him.
Steelers, you lost Juju.
They have no reason. Good options for quarterbacks for Odell.
Chargers, but you got Keenan Allen, you got Mike Williams. Odell could be your 3.
I would do that if I was the Chargers, and I could.
Panthers. You got
Mm,
Robbie Anderson, who's not good.
no,
What happened?
they don't throw to him. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, is he not good or is it Sam Darnold? A little bit of both.
He was great last year, at least for fantasy. So it makes no sense. They just don't throw to
Seahawks?
him.
Seahawks. I
he'd
mean,
be
you got
the-
Tyler Lockett. You
He'd be
got
the
DK
clear
Metcalf.
three. Yeah, he'd be the clear three. But they're also Geno Smith, so I don't know.
Broncos.
They suck too. I wouldn't want to play with
Eagles.
Teddy Bridgewater. It makes no sense because they suck also. So
And then the Jags have almost $30 million in cap room. They could just go sign a new team.
do they ever want to like sign players to maybe be good again, or I don't like.
No,
what are
Urban
they-
Meyer's spending too much time hitting on chicks.
What are they doing? Like their owners suck, right?
Oh, who are they? I can't put my finger on it.
Some Arab guy, I think. I don't know.
Con!
His son's a moron. What does his son do for the Jaguars? His son. I just call him Tony. What does Tony do?
TK. Does he do anything?
He's something with the Jags. He definitely
really?
is. He has like way too many jobs.
But he's Booker of the Year.
Yeah.
What does Tony Khan do for the Jags?
What? Hey, Google, what does Tony Khan do? Google says act like a tool. Oh, interesting. This is a Tony Khan hate podcast.
Oh, he serves as the Senior Vice President of Football Technology and Analytics.
That's right. It was something like weird. Obviously, not doing a great job. Because
Also, don't worry. I forgot about this. He is the co-owner, vice chairman, director of football operations, where he oversees identification, evaluation, recruitment, and signing of players for Fulham FC.
there's no way he's able to do all of this stuff. There's just no way. He's got other people doing like he's probably focused on AEW and the other stuff is just like, yeah, have my assistant take care of it. They probably sign like a milk truck driver to Fulham. Aren't they
Also,
awful?
Yeah, they're terrible. They're basically the Jags of professional.
And I think their
football.
fans hate them.
And when I said professional football, I meant European football, not American football.
Football.
As Wikipedia is teaching me right now, I did not realize this. Did you also know that outside of sports, he has other business ventures? He's the owner and chairman of True Media Networks, which is a Boston-based engineering firm specializing in innovative sports analytics solutions for leagues, franchises, and media partners across the athletic sports industry.
He owns a Boston-based business. Those are like two. I hate Tony and I hate Boston. So yeah.
Some of his clients include ESPN, the NFL, Zebra Technologies, and over 60% of all Major League Baseball clubs. Ah, damn it, Yankees.
What the hell does this come from? With daddy's money. Must be nice.
Oh, also, along with True Media Networks, he and his family also helped fund Activist Artist Management, a talent management and advisory firm founded in 2018.
I wonder what he's advising people on. How to suck. Like, out of all the stuff they own, the only successful thing seems to be the fucking AEW. And that's new. The Jaguars are awful. I don't know how they were good a couple years ago with Blake Bortles.
It was their defense.
Great. How do you go from that good to just like, I know defenses usually drop off, but like they did nothing to like bring anybody back. They got robbed. They
So-
should have gone to the Super Bowl that year, though.
They really should have.
Could you imagine if they'd won the Super Bowl?
That would have been
Oh,
terrible. So
Jaguars.
the Cons bought the Jags in July of 2012, or that's when they officially became the owners.
That recently? Huh. Who owned it before them? Not that it matters.
I'm not sure.
Because I know I want
Some
to say
schmuck?
I was thinking of Wayne Huizenga, but that was the Dolphins.
That was the Dolphins. Yes.
Did you just look at your phone too?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Group chats. LOL.
I wonder who did own them. I'm gonna have to check that right now. Hold
Somebody
please.
was like, "Yeah, I don't want to deal with this crap anymore. You take them." What's his
Wayne
name?
Weaver was the prior owner.
Wayne Weaver.
He was the original majority owner.
Was that Jared's dad?
He owns the shoe store chains Shoe Carnival and Nine West. Wow, good for him.
Never heard of him.
I've never heard of him, but I've heard of Nine West, obviously.
Obviously, what the hell's that?
You've never heard of Nine West? It's
Nine West. I'm more of an East guy anyway.
also you're not a big fan of Kanye West either.
No, hate that guy. Some of his music is good, but I'm not a big rap guy. What did he send us? Something about the Giants?
He always says something about the Giants. You know, can we just discuss this for a second? The Giants are terrible. Your brother picked them to win the division.
It doesn't make any sense.
He also picked them to win a playoff game. We've discussed this before, but everybody that's listening, Randy included, He picked the Giants to win a playoff game.
They should have
The
been.
Giants.
Yeah, I even if they didn't improve as much as he thought they did, I wouldn't have never picked them.
He's also the one that said the Yankees would win the division and the season would be a cakewalk.
Yeah, it was a cakewalk for the Rays.
Cakewalk.
What is this? When Beckham arrived at the Browns training facility, I talked to everybody who's in the locker room, in the weight room meeting. I talked to everybody. You've got to get to know who you're battling with. When the whistle blows,
So he was a good teammate.
yeah, people are like saying there was, I forget who tweeted it, but he was like, this is nonsense. He took me under his wing. So like, even with the Giants, when Gettleman didn't like him, like all the players liked him. So that's, he gets a bad rap, but he never had it as good as he had it with Eli, which is crazy because he was putting up ridiculous numbers. But I would say the Giants ended up winning that trade, which is insane. Because it looked like the Browns were gonna like go to the Super Bowl, and they just, even his first year there, I don't think he did that much. I think he had 1,000 yards, but it was one of those like, how did he have 1,000 yards? It looked like he had a terrible season,
Well,
but he wasn't as good.
I've been on the he's not that good since he got injured. What was it? 6 years ago, 5 years ago?
He broke his leg. Oh, he was so special though.
That wasn't even, that was 4 years ago, wasn't it? Wasn't that 2017?
I think his last year with the Giants is when he broke his leg. Was it?
No, he had one. I'm looking at it right
one
now.
more
So
year?
2017, he broke his leg. He only played 4 games.
Yeah. So he had
2018, he came back. He actually had a
Yeah, that was the Josh Norman year, wasn't it?
77 catches, 1,052 yards, 6 touchdowns.
So he had 14, 15, 16. Amazing.
Yep.
And he was injured. And then when he came back, it wasn't bad. He still had 1,000 yards, but it felt like a struggle because obviously we sucked.
He also missed 4 games because he got injured again.
Yeah. I mean, that was like his first year. He had missed the first 4 games of his career, and he still had like 1,400 yards or something like that. Incredible.
1,300, 12 touchdowns.
Such a good.
Then he went to the Browns, first season with the Browns, 74 catches, 1,035 yards, only 4 touchdowns. So he had 1,000 yards, but
Yeah.
74 catches.
But it felt, it was like he could have done so much more, but they don't throw. They don't have that kind of offense.
Well, I mean, when you have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and now, I mean, don't forget Kareem Hunt. You got Dearness Johnson. Guy's a monster.
Chubb and Hunt are the worst guys to have for fantasy because you never know. Although somehow they both put up numbers when they play. Even Hunt, who's the backup, he'll get those touchdowns, vulture them away. That's the worst when you have like James Conner and Chase Edmonds play one of them, the other guy gets the touchdown. If you're in a situation like me where you're starting both of them, yeah, you reevaluate how your philosophy.
And then the week that you sit both of them, they both go off.
Yeah, they got 14 and 15 points each, and But I went with the fantasy strategy of I have the last pick in the first round, so I'm going to wait on a running back, and it was not a good idea. Never again. But I was able to turn it around for next year. I have 4 first-round draft picks.
I went with the strategy of just drafting Darren Waller and George Kittle, and how'd that work out for me?
Well, George Kittle got hurt again. Waller's, I don't even know what he's doing this year. He's still the second best tight end there is, but Kittle got hurt again.
Fantasy-wise, Waller is actually worse than Kyle Pitts.
I feel like he disappears a lot, but he has the potential to have like massive games, but he'll also give you like 2. And it's just been a struggle in fantasy for me. I'm in 5 leagues. 4 of them are actually important. ESPN went down the I almost said down the hatch. Is that still a bar?
It is.
Down the hatch. I wonder if Daniel's still there.
Shout out to DEJ.
I hate ESPN fantasy with a passion. Like it's just so annoying to navigate, and I hate it so much.
And that's all I'm used to. Doing your Yahoo league is the first time I've done a Yahoo fantasy league since
the last
when
time
was the last time I was in
league?
one of your fantasy Yahoos?
Probably 3 or 4 years ago. The year that I traded you Tyreek Hill and Leonard Fournette for Le'Veon Bell, and then he sat out the entire year, and Fournette was basically hurt all year, and I still won the league.
Oh my God, I remember that.
It was like one of the first very few trades that league had before the last few years. And I was like, I want Gurley and Bell as my running back tandem. And I had Julio Jones, Thielen, and I think one other receiver, including Hill. So I basically had Thielen, Hill, Jones, Gurley, and I don't know who my second running back was, probably Fournette. And I was like, I want Le'Veon Bell and Todd Gurley, and I will run this league. And I vaguely think I knew that he was going to hold out, but I figured he's not going to sit out the whole year. So I made the trade, and he didn't play a single goddamn snap.
That was 2018.
A single freaking snap. And then you cried and bitched your way out of the league. So I replaced you. And then I was like, you need to stop being a bitch and come back. So now we're in this league and I own your first round pick, including 2 others. So if I literally do not
3
win,
others.
no, I own my own.
Because you have your own.
Yeah, it's 2 other people. And so if I don't win next year, either I have the worst injury in the entire league or I'm an idiot. Like 4 first round picks, you shouldn't be able to lose. Although I don't think I want the first. Who would you take next year in the fantasy first pick? You can't take McCaffrey, although you might
can't
have
take
to.
McCaffrey.
What I mean, if he's supposed to be healthy, because he gets
He's-
hurt all the time. I don't
That's
trust.
why you can't rely on him.
I don't trust Derrick Henry, especially now after he got hurt. But say he stayed healthy at another 2,000-yard season, there's no way he can do that again. Although we both said there's no way he could do it this year, and he was on pace to absolutely shatter it.
But I said he was going to break down. Did I not say he was going to break down? He broke down.
Do we count that as breaking down, or just he got hurt? It's not like he was having wear and tear every week and like
Yeah, but
less and
the
less.
type of injury he got is based on wear and tear.
So I don't know who I would take. Dalvin Cook, he misses a couple games a year.
He misses 2-3 games.
I gotta find a way to be able to trade draft picks like offline to where like I have the first pick. Say I have 1, 3, 5, and 10 or whatever, and you have like 6. I'll be like, I'll trade you 1 for 6, and then we swap seconds or whatever. Because like I don't want the first pick if I have.
I want to trade back
next
into
year.
the first round.
That's true. I wonder. I wish I could keep track of it on a spreadsheet and be like, all right, you want back in? I'll trade you one of my firsts this year for your first and second next year. But it's fantasy. If you can't trade more than 1 top 3 pick. So
I mean, I could see someone like a Jamar Chase being a top, maybe not number 1 though. I think knowing McCaffrey injury prone,
he's just
Henry, not sure what you're going to get from him. I think maybe Dalvin Cook.
Kamara's not doing as much this year as you would expect, but he's the one guy who I would probably want to take. But like, I can't justify taking Tyreek Hill in the top 5 or Travis Kelce in the top 5, especially if they suck now.
You know who might play
Have
his
to
way
do
into
this.
being the top fantasy back? Jonathan Taylor.
Oh yeah, he's good. I remember Hector picked him at the end of the first round. And he was like, "Yeah, somebody told me to take this guy." I was like, "Yeah, he was really good last year, and he's one of the top running backs." But he's like really off the hook this year.
And I think that when I was watching the game the other day, why did I watch the Jets and Colts game, by the way? Why?
It's football. Who cares?
Why? But still, why? They said that coming into that game, the most carries he'd gotten in any game was 18.
I wonder if they have 3 running backs, and then for no reason just like stopped using them. They started like Himes was good for like 1 20-point game a season, like every 6 weeks or something. They'll go off for no reason. But then Marlon Mack, like I think they tried to reestablish some value for him. Like they played him a little bit. But usually you could rely on those like secondary backs, but there's just not even in 10-team leagues, there's nobody. I didn't take a running back. I made the mistake of taking a quarterback 4th. I will never do that again. If you're listening to fantasy, you could get Matthew Stafford. You could get Aaron Rodgers in like the 10th round. Don't ever, even from Mahomes, not worth it. Josh Allen, not worth it. Never take a quarterback that early. Doesn't matter.
I'm looking at my draft.
You could take
this year
Dak
right
in like
now.
the 6th round or something like that, or Russ. Just it's not worth it.
I drafted Justin Herbert in round 7.
Even if I have 4 first-round picks, say I go running back, receiver, or receiver tight end or whatever, I don't think I'm going to take a quarterback until I got every position filled. Unless they start like sometimes they'll go on runs where you're like Kyler Murray's gone, all these guys are gone. But you could get Stafford in like the double-digit rounds and be fine. So
I mean, I
can't
got
screw this up.
I've only played him once this season. He's I think like the number 4 fantasy quarterback, Jalen Hurts. I drafted him in round 13.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know because he looks just horrendous most weeks, but fantasy makes no difference. He puts up the points.
Well, except last week when I actually didn't play him, they put up 44 points and he did nothing.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
They scored 44 points in spite of him being their quarterback.
Yeah, he had no touchdowns, right? They were
No,
all on the ground.
They ran, I think, 4 rushing touchdowns, and then they got field goals.
But I always
stuff
get
like
nervous because I had years where I was like, I had Drew Brees one year, but he sucked or wasn't as great at fantasy, and I was like, I need to have a quarterback. I don't want to get stuck with like Ben Roethlisberger or Daniel Jones. But even Jones can put up some numbers. You don't waste a thing on a quarterback.
It's
It's just not worth it.
Wasteful,
Especially,
worthless.
I was in a league. I doubt he'll listen to this, but Vic, he drafted Mahomes in the first round, then immediately turned around and drafted Josh Allen with the second pick.
Why?
I'd never seen anything that dumb
For
in
the
fantasy.
one buy that they're gonna have.
And then
Like,
he tried to trade, and I was like, you're not going to get anything of value that would be greater than your second pick would have been. So why would you take a quarterback after you took a quarterback? And Mahomes
Makes
is
no sense.
somehow having a good year fantasy wise, but like it's not worth the first round pick when you can get a quarterback 13 rounds later who will put up enough points for you to probably win, especially
think
if you
this-
have good running backs.
I think we know we're gonna talk about fantasy now too. Look, we just added a segment.
That's why it sucks that I sold off my team, but like I'm one of those guys who I'll try to build the best shitty team you can. I'm projected to not win a single game anymore for the rest of the year after trading away Hill, Kelsey, Robinson, Patterson. I think that was it. I'm projected to not win another game, but I'm still scouring the waivers. Like somebody dropped Calvin Ridley, so I just added him to put on IR. My only good player is Deontay Johnson. That's it. Like I have nothing. Alex just got Zeke. I'm gonna get destroyed, but it's worth. I had to wait a whole year, and in Griff's league, I traded DeAndre Hopkins straight up for Justin Jefferson,
No, wait. So what did Alex trade to get Zeke?
a second round.
So he gave me crap for trading my first for Robinson and Patterson.
I think he was more mad that you didn't care that I already had yours was the second trade that went through. So I had my first and David's first, and he's like, you didn't see that he already has two firsts. Like I could see his point, but why would you care what I have next year? Yeah, that's gonna suck.
I'm not
next
worried
year,
about next year.
you're trying to win this year.
I'm trying to do something this year, and also it's on you next year to make those picks count. Maybe I don't have faith in you actually drafting that wisely.
I mean, if I'm not the best team in the league next year, then I might just like somebody else can own my team and I'll just be the commissioner and watch.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm going to say this in all honesty. If you don't win next year, you have
Something
if you keep
catastrophic
four first-round
happened.
picks.
I'm not getting rid of them. I can tell you that.
So if you have 4 first-round picks, let's say you get a fifth somehow, some way, and you don't win the league, give up fantasy sports. Just fucking retire. You're done.
I'm better at basketball than I won 2 basketball leagues last year and one before that after being terrible. But football, I haven't won in a couple of years. But yeah, like if I have, let's say I have 4 first-round picks, which I do in the top 10. We'll just spread them out. We'll say 1, 3, 5, and 7 or whatever. It's probably going to have 3 running backs off the board already. And then probably also Tyreek Hill. So let's say I have McCaffrey, Chubb, and like Jonathan Taylor with Tyreek Hill. If I can't win with that, then I should quit. It's ridiculous how few
you went
running backs
Chubb
are.
instead of Joe.
That
Joe
just,
Mixon instead of Dalvin Cook.
that name just stuck
Was it
because I took McCaffrey first and I figured Cook would be gone. But I'll take Kamara. Like I don't want the first pick. I really don't.
You know,
Barkley,
I
who
said
knows?
Jonathan Taylor. I could see DeAndre Swift being a top fantasy back if he's on a better team.
I can't.
If he was on a better
trust.
team.
You can't trust him though. He gets hurt all the time and they suck.
DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, he's always hurt. And Jamal Williams had one week. I think it was week 1 where he was good, and you're like, maybe they'll both put up numbers. And he hasn't gotten double-digit points again. Now he's hurt. I had a team where I had McCaffrey and Clyde, so my 2 top running backs,
Oh God, I
Or
forgot
injured.
about Clyde.
and he sucks too. Like if I'm them, I try to trade him and just use Williams. Like
He's
I
injury prone.
don't get why even when he's not hurt, they don't like Williams is better than him already. Like he's had better fantasy games. I
With
don't
all these
get it.
teams having, a feature back and then the complementary back, like, the Cowboys have Zeke and Pollard. The Giants have,
Yeah.
never mind, I'm going to go to a better team. All these teams have that, the Colts have 3 backs, like you said.
Yeah.
They need to change in mother effing fantasy, just like how they have team defense. Give me team running backs. Let me draft an
Well, I
entire
wanted
team
to-
running back.
I wanted to do it like a league where you draft teams and you get every one of their players. So say, who would you take? I mean, you have to go with the Chiefs number 1, right?
I probably would have gone Bucks.
You'd get
All the offensive weapons they have.
that's true.
with a
especially
75-year-old Brady.
especially if Fournette is doing what he's doing again this year. But like Chiefs, you get Mahomes, you get the one top quarterback, top tight end, top receiver, arguably.
Cowboys would be up there too.
I feel like the top 5. I mean, the Vikings too. 2 really good receivers, great running back, quarterback who sucks, but he'll put up numbers. Like I always wanted to do that.
Can we do that next year?
I'd have to create like a separate league. I would never do that as my main league, but that would be kind of fun. So then you'd probably end up having to draft 2 or 3 teams. What, there are 32 teams? If we have 10 teams in our league, you could each draft 3 teams. Like, I
Yeah.
wonder who would be the 3 teams that don't get drafted at all? The Texans,
Jets.
Jets, even the Jaguars have at least a couple of. Who would be like the crappiest? Even the friggin' Lions have some options. Hawkinson.
The Lions actually
Swift.
have talent on their team. That's
It's
part of
just
the
not at
problem.
quarterback.
Well, I mean, he's not good. He's definitely not worth he's one of the top 32 quarterbacks in the NFL.
It's close. I mean, they're probably he's no Mike Glennon, but
I mean, who is?
fucking what's his face? I was thinking of Chenault, who was supposed. Him and Callaway were 2 like sleepers who were supposed to like. Chenault was supposed
Freaking
to.
Marquez Callaway.
Chenault was supposed to make that jump to be like have a really good year, and Callaway was supposed to have a sleeper year, and they were both horrendous. Chenault, what a dick.
You know who
Yes.
the worst statistically yards per game? Who's the worst offense in the NFL?
I know it's not the Giants. I think they're somewhere at the bottom, but I don't think they're the worst.
The Giants are 20th in yards per game. Points, they're down there, but yards per game, the Giants are 20th.
Better than I thought. What is it? You would think the Texans or somebody.
Texans are 31st.
Who's worse than the Texans? Is it the Jaguars?
The Jaguars are you ready for this? Jaguars are 17th.
Wow. Who the hell? Who the hell do you think you are? I have no idea then. Who's worse than the Texans? The Jets? No, they put up. Mike White just put up 400 yards. I have
Jets
no
are
idea.
25th. Jets are 25th.
Who's really, really, really bad? I don't know. The
NFC.
The
NFC.
Bears?
Bears, they're the worst.
Really? Because I figured Justin Fields usually has like 42 passing yards a game.
They're the worst by almost 20 yards per game.
Oh, that's disgusting. That is
So
awful.
32 is the Bears. Then you got the Texans, Dolphins. Now we got a playoff team that's one of the worst offenses in the NFL. Saints, only going to
That's
get worse with
crazy.
Trevor Siemian. Seahawks, Lions, Panthers, Jets, Steelers, Falcons, Packers, Broncos, then Giants.
in
Packers
yards per game.
yards per game.
That's odd. I'm surprised.
The top. Do you know who the top offense is? Yards per game wise. Obviously, points per game. different.
Dallas?
Yards per game. Dallas by 31 yards per game.
They throw so much, and then when they actually run it, like Zeke's been on fire the last few games.
Cowboys average 454.9 yards per game.
Oh God, I have to root for everybody against them. I'll root for Tom Brady over the fucking Cowboys.
They're
But
third in passing yards per game,
I'm surprised it's not first.
number 2 in rushing yards per game.
Oh God, they suck. I'll root for friggin' QAnon Rogers. What's his name? Aaron
Q Aaron?
Rodgers.
Q
Q
Aaron
Aaron.
Rodgers?
There you go. Yeah, Q Aaron. QAA Ron.
The Cowboys are third in points per game, behind the Bucks and Bills.
Tom Brady has to be on steroids. Like I don't know. I don't understand how he's still good or still even able to move, let alone be good. You saw how Peyton Manning fell off and Drew Brees fell off. They couldn't throw more than 5 yards. Doesn't make any sense.
Well, part of it's got to be the diet that he has, right? He's on that weird freaking
Steroid muffin diet.
steroid mug. Is that gluten free?
Yeah,
feel
no
like he doesn't
gluten.
have
It's just steroids. Like I don't know what he's doing. It's insane. Like I can't even hate that much. Now that he's not on the Patriots, I don't hate him as much. I won't root
Oh.
for him, but well, unless he's playing certain team.
If he's playing the Packers, my God, I'm getting a Tom Brady jersey.
Really, I don't know.
You're gonna root for QAnon fucking Rodgers? Q Aaron?
What round is it?
Any round.
God, I don't know. I don't want to deal with all the Tom Brady freaking dick suckers and all the Bucks fans who haven't been around since before he came. Like there were no Bucks fans. Like they were here in 2002 and then they disappeared.
You mean all the Bucks fans that haven't been around since Mike Allstott?
Yeah, because they don't know who that is. They think that's the GM. Like they have no clue who that is.
Big Rondé Barber fans.
God, it's kind of weird how one of your brothers, your twins, and one's a defensive player and one's a offensive player. feel like they would have played the same position or something,
As
or
twins?
at least on offense together.
Well, actually, the Pouncey twins, they played both offensive guard or offensive line.
Yeah,
excuse me.
exactly. That's what I was thinking.
But then you
maybe-
got Trevon Diggs and Stephon Diggs.
are they related?
They're brothers.
Are they?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I thought somebody said that they weren't. There was somebody
brothers.
who I thought was brothers and they weren't.
But
How
they
much
actually
younger. How much younger is Trayvon? Because Diggs has been in the league for a while. There's Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs is 27.
Yeah, he's been in the league for a while. Trayvon Diggs
His-
probably like 22, 23.
Just turned 23. And actually, I take it back. They did play the same position. Trevon Diggs was a wide receiver at Alabama. And Nick Saban was like, you suck. You're going to go play defense.
Wow. And what's his face? I was looking this up. Diggs, the receiver, had like 120 catches last year and like 170 something targets or something like that. He's nowhere near that this year. I don't know what they're doing, but they throw into Cole Beasley way too often. Like he needs to just like go away. Emmanuel Sanders, another guy who screwed me last week. 0. I don't know if I think he had 1 target, maybe 2, 0 points. You know how bad you
Yeah.
got to be to put up 0 in fantasy?
The Bills' offense really intrigues me. They're thrown to the tight end a lot more.
Dawson Knox, a fucking idiot. I
Well, he
wonder
broke his hand now. Do you see he threw a touchdown? Or
yeah, with a broken hand,
was it a 2-point conversion?
something like that.
But he
But, like-
with a broken hand.
I wonder if Diggs is getting pissed because he can be a whiny little bitch. So I wonder if he's getting upset because they're winning at least.
I feel like he was on the Vikings. I mean,
Yeah, but he was putting up numbers too. I mean,
maybe he just hated Kirk Cousins.
who does?
You're gonna fault him for that?
I could go on a rant about that idiot. He got me banned on Twitter for I think it was like one of those 24-hour bans. I just said, I don't know what I said. I don't think it was just F Kirk Cousins. It was I said something about him and it was like instant. Because that was when he tweeted something like, I'll just let the chips fall where they may about like COVID. Like, yeah, kids die. You're just gonna let it happen. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna let God or some garbage like that. And I tweeted and got banned for a day.
Did you see that the Bills backup quarterback Trubisky is on the COVID list? Their practice squad QB Fromm is on the COVID list.
So if Josh Allen dies, they have nobody.
Well, they just elevated the backup for Josh Allen tomorrow is former Giant great Davis Webb.
Oh my God. Davis Webb. We have a long list of guys that are just I guess misses would be the nicest way to say.
Kyle Laletta.
I still have one of his autographed cards somewhere. Damn Saquon. I think was it the same year he got drafted? 'Cause I got a Saquon autograph with that's a booklet of Saquon and Rashad Penny. So that value.
Laletta was I think 4th round pick in 2018.
So the value of that card, I paid like $350 for it. The value of that is probably in the garbage right now because I mean, Rashad Penny's nothing, and Saquon can never stay healthy.
Can you tell me what team Kyle Laletta is on?
Is he even on a team?
He's on the practice squad of a team.
Does that count? What team? What? The Jags.
Yes.
No, he's not on the
Yeah,
Jags.
he's on the Jags.
I don't
practice
believe you.
squad.
Show me your phone. It says he's on the Jags. I don't believe that. I have to look
He's
that
on
up now.
the
There's no
Jags
way I
practice
pulled that out
squad.
of my ass. I never get these right.
He is
Kyle,
on the Jags practice squad.
Kyle Laletta.
He's their 3rd quarterback.
We wasted a 4th round pick on this idiot. Was he the one who got caught speeding or whatever? Or was that Webb?
I think that was Webb.
God, he is on the Jaguars. He went from the Giants to the Eagles to the Falcons to the Browns to the Jags. All practice squad. I wonder what they're making. Probably more than I am. Who was the one who got speeding? Webb?
I think it was Davis Webb.
Idiot. Oh, no, it was Laletta.
It was Laletta.
Found guilty of failure to obey a highway sign. Dumbass. He made his first NFL appearance on December 9th in relief of Eli Manning in a rare Giants win against the former Washington Redskins. Why don't you tell everyone how you wish that they would rename them the Redskins because you hate Indians?
Oh, that's not the case at all. At all. That is
You were
fabricated.
you were ranting about how you shouldn't change the name. It's the history. It's legacy.
That is false. propaganda being spread in this direction.
This is the two truths and a lie segment where I make up 3 racist things about Raimi, and you tell me which one's correct.
I hate everyone equally.
We need ideas for like segments. What did we say? We were gonna do one called this and that. Just where I'll just randomly be like, "What do you prefer, NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?" And then you'll say NSYNC incorrectly, right? And then I'll tell you why you're wrong. Stuff like that.
How? I understand the Backstreet Boys are still around, but how could you say Backstreet Boys are better than NSYNC?
Because their songs are better. Just because they didn't have the chart. They
didn't.
Bye.
Bye. It's gonna be me. NSYNC got poppers, man.
I'll take. It's Backstreet Boys hits are better than. I'll take. I Want It That Way over all of that stuff.
Show Me the Meaning of Being Lonely.
Yeah, that's Backstreet Boys.
No, I know it's a good song.
Yeah, they're all good. They're just incredible. NSYNC, I'll take like Bye 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 is good, but I don't think it's better than any of the Backstreet Boys songs. Like I have no interest in listening to the NSYNC in my car, but I will rock out to the Backstreet Boys.
But in my defense, now as years have gone on,
I mean, NSYNC's not bad.
Timberlake turned mainstream. Joey Fatone, hilarious.
Well, Timberlake's also a piece of garbage. Fatone is the man.
Give me something redeeming about some of your Backstreet Boy buddies there.
Well, that doesn't mean that their music is better. Like Michael Jackson may have touched little boys. It doesn't make his music any worse. R. Kelly's.
R. Kelly. Don't even bring up R. Kelly.
You can. Pete Davidson said it. As long as you acknowledge what a piece of garbage, whoever you're listening to or watching a movie, as long as you acknowledge as a piece of garbage, you can like. I love the Cosby Show. Granted, he's a human piece of trash, but you can still, as long as you admit that. Like I'll watch Charles in Charge and straight up tell you Scott Baio is a douchebag, but I will still watch that show and love it. But he's a piece of garbage. So you can still listen to whatever fucking Backstreet Boys and realize that Brian is a QAnon moron. Like that really broke my heart. That's why they probably kicked him out. And who is it? It was Nick and AJ, Lance and Joey is like back sync or something like that we saw all over TikTok.
It was good. They should have actually made that a legitimate group and done things.
Oh, got a text. Turn back clocks tonight. Who has a clock to turn back? Like your phones do it automatically.
Your oven, your microwave.
Out of here. Yeah, I don't have an oven or a microwave in my room, so I'm good.
I'm sorry. You should.
What does it go from like 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. or like
2 a.m. to 1 a.m.
So when it hits 2 a.m., it's back to 1 a.m. So I get an extra hour of sleep, which is
so really technically right now it's 6:37 p.m.
So dark.
Just think how bad that's going to be tomorrow when it gets dark at like 4:30.
We're here. I'm going to end up going to work and leaving work when it's dark. So we're here on the East Coast in Connecticut. I don't know where everyone else is from.
Oh, you're on the East Coast in Connecticut. I'm in New York now.
That's true. I forgot about that.
The Raimi family compound has shifted.
Where is it? Poughkeepsie?
Poughkeepsie, yes.
So it was this and that, unusual deaths. I think I'll try and throw in there sometimes. What other like weird stuff can we talk about? I can just narrate the Simpsons episode I'm watching. Lisa's on the phone. She has a unicorn shirt on.
You're lucky. I don't even have a TV in this room.
And you can name that episode. Because I had it. Tell me if you can hear this. I'll unmute it. Can you hear Homer?
A little bit. I can't hear what he's saying though. Yeah, I know it's Homer though.
So I muted the TV. Because we're high quality here. Usually I would just leave it unmute or leave it on and blasting in the background. But I mean, you've got that nice lamp. You have better ambiance behind you than I do. I just have a covered up desk fan.
Well, that lamp will be gone soon once I get an actual light in here.
What kind of light?
A better light.
You're gonna have like one of those lights that Pork Chop Pete uses for his face. So
I might just have a light above me and I'll just bring it down. I might actually have the microphone above me and just bring it down so I can be like
Mr. Kennedy.
I couldn't think of his name. Wow, that was really bad.
I'll just do the podcast like this.
Your arm would get tired after a while, I think.
Yeah, I'm already tired. I'm done. I'm not doing that anymore. So we'll have to come up with segments and stuff like that. But mostly,
and by we, you mean me. I'll come up with segments.
Pretty much. Mostly, it'll just be random stuff that has absolutely no flow to it whatsoever. Kind of
or
like
at least you give me the if you came up with the segments, I would do all the work with the topics.
That's true. All right, I can do that.
I can do the research. I can become topical.
But that's basically it. This is over an hour, so that's not bad. We just basically talked about nothing. This and a little bit.
Eventually,
of this,
we will get
a
guests.
little bit of this and a little bit of that. Could you imagine? Just we have to book guests. It'll be all of our friends, and maybe work our way up to. But like, it would be awkward if you wanted like Dick Van Klondike on here. Like, we don't know him, So like I feel weird.
But I feel like it'd be great getting to know him.
That's true. He seems like a nice dude, but like I'm just awkward like that.
But
Especially
then also
over
just
guys.
he's so the tweets that he has are just so witty.
Yeah, I wish I could be like that. Like I'll
I
have
wish
one,
I had that. I
I'll
wish I
have
had that.
I'll throw out one every once in a while. I'm more witty in like group text and stuff like that, but he'll throw out bangers of tweets where I'm like legitimately popping audibly.
He's awesome. And the people that just get so bent out of shape about things that he says and does.
There are so many accounts on Twitter that are just like it's just mute it. Who cares? If you don't like it, go just don't read it. I don't understand why you get all bent out of shape about AEW botches. They botch and they show them. There's a whole Botchamania page dedicated to wrestling botches with plenty of WWE on there. I just don't understand.
I swear to God, WWE just botched in one of the matches the other day.
I don't know if I watched any of Raw. I did watch SmackDown, although I didn't even know Cesaro was in a tag match. Whenever I looked at the screen, it was just him. So I thought it was a handicap match and he took the pin.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty
What are
bad
you
when you have him
doing?
teaming with Mansoor and he's taking Cesaro deserves better. I just started right there. He deserves better.
He got such a push and then it was just like a temporary, like, wow, we need to fill in here. So we'll just give you a little push. I
When
don't
does his
understand.
contract run out? Let him go to Impact and just run roughshod over everybody.
I would be devastated if he left, but he's peaked like this, and not because it's his own fault. They won't do anything with him, but they probably won't release him. And he seems
also-
like the kind of guy who would stay.
He's old.
He's 40 at least.
He
40.
turns 41 in December.
He's old. Sheamus is over 40. Sheamus is probably 42. Orton's 40. Alexa Bliss is turning 50.
Sheamus is going to be 44 in
Yeah,
January.
he's still jacked and he's still putting on bangers.
And he's got that the neck thing, the back thing.
I was gonna say something, but I won't. Isn't there a song, "My Neck, My
Yeah,
Back"?
my neck, my back, my
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like
I think
is
that's
that
a
where-
Khalees
is
song.
Is that where you're going with it? I don't even know who that is. I only know that from a Jake and Amir video. My neck, my
Oh,
back.
that's Kia. That's Kia. Khalees has
That's
milkshake. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Kia is a car.
Car,
so
yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I legitimately don't know who either of those people are.
You've never heard of the song "My Milkshake"?
I
Brings
know-
All
I know the
Boys to
song.
Yard,"
I
and
have
they're
no
like,
idea
It's
who-
better than yours. No,
I have no idea who the
I
singer
just
is.
did this.
Yeah,
I forgot there's video on that. Was
I have-
the most embarrassing moment of the last 2 hours for me.
I have no idea who they are though. Like legitimately never heard of them. I've heard of the song. Everyone's heard of that song, but I have no clue. Like I don't know. I know the milkshake song. I don't know the neck back song. I don't know the name of that song.
It's called "My Neck, My Back."
Is it really? Oh,
Yeah.
very creative.
I mean,
By Kia. I have no.
I probably pronounced that incorrectly. It's Khia. I know that.
That's probably what I would say. Milkshake is what?
Kia?
Milkshake's got to be like 20, 25 years old, right?
Milkshake. I feel like that's probably 2002.
Early 2000, it seems like. Oh, wow. I forgot this microphone is super sensitive. It's this ASMR sounds of my beard hitting the microphone. This is the kind of weird stuff you're going to get. I got to find things that'll piss you off so you can just rant. No, we're going to try not to. It is called This, That Rant, but we're not going to force a rant every week. Something.
It doesn't take much. By the way, Milkshake came out in 2003, December of 2003.
That's a song that like for some reason I can't get out of my head if I ever hear it. Like there's a Jake and Amir video where he sings it, and every time I watch it, it's stuck in my head the rest of the day.
Well, do you want to know who wrote that song? Pharrell.
Really?
Yeah.
Pharrell Williams?
Who has to be an alien. Guy's almost 50. Looks like he's 20.
He looks the same. Remember NERD?
Yes.
Their only song I know is Rockstar, and that's still a banger of a song. That probably came out early 2000s also. That's one of the few rap songs that I will consistently listen to.
Really?
Yeah, I used to listen to Eminem a lot in high school, but I don't listen to a lot of rap. Like I'll throw on like Number One Stunner occasionally is on my playlist. I'll usually skip Jay-Z. Jay-Z pissed me off ever since he said he made the Yankee hat more famous than the Yankee. I was like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't, jackass.
Oh, he's Jay-Z.
No, he didn't make it more famous, so he can suck my balls. Like that's I'm gonna start ranting right now just about that. So ridiculous. No, you didn't.
Remember when they performed on the field
At Yankee Stadium? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that 2009?
Yeah,
That was the only time we've been in the World Series. So yeah. Yeah, but he definitely didn't make that more famous. So he can eat my ass.
he kind of did though.
No, he didn't make that more famous than Jeter did, or maybe, I don't know, Babe Ruth,
He's more mainstream.
but he didn't make that hat famous. Nobody was like, what's that hat? What's that
He
hat
has
Jay-Z
people
wears?"
wearing the Yankee hat that aren't sports fans.
I don't think that's true.
That's what he meant.
I don't think he did any of that. I think people just see hats and are like, yeah, all right, they're popular. Let me wear that.
They see hat and get hat.
I don't think Jay-Z was like, people were like, what's Jay-Z? What's that NY on Jay-Z's hat? Never heard that before. Yankees. Oh, okay, cool. Jay-Z taught me that.
The Nye Mets are my favorite squadron.
The Nye Mets. Go Squadron.
What's that from?
Should I know it?
You should.
Because I know Brian Regan does a bit about sports where he says the word squadron. Great word. I have no idea. The Nye
Ooh.
Mets? Is that a cartoon?
It is.
Is it Mr. Burns?
Oh, it was Apu Nahasapino Pedalon, season 7, when he's trying to say that he's American. And
The
he's
Nye
not
Mets.
an alien. He says the Nye Mets are my favorite squadron. He's wearing a cowboy hat.
I'm not as
He's
familiar with
talking
The
to Homer
Simpsons.
in the Quickie Mart.
I'm not as familiar with The Simpsons as I am Family Guy. I knew it wasn't Family Guy because I would have heard that. The Nye Mets.
You think Family Guy would talk about the Mets? They would just talk about the Red Sox and the Pats.
No, they talk about the Mets. You remember the Yankees suck, Knicks suck, Jets suck, all that, or the Leafers. You brought all the trash. Yeah, you brought all the trash and the New York Mets. Or the Stewie made fun of him. He's like, I love going to opening day. And here's the first pitch, and the season's over. That's basically
true,
what
though.
it is. Yeah. I mean, they spent 100 days in first place, as we said, and basically felt like they weren't going to make it.
They kind of didn't make it.
Although the Orioles spent more time in first place than we did, which is.
That's one of the most depressing stats I've ever.
Did we
been in.
spend a single day in first place? No, right?
I don't think so. I don't think we spent a day sole possession of first place.
I don't know if we did at all. Like, because the Rays were always good, and whenever we were ahead of the Red Sox, it was still behind Tampa. God, that's infuriating. Waste all that money, and you can't even win the division. I could rant on that. I could rant on a lot of stuff, but it's not.
Well,
gonna
free
be
agency
forced.
for Major League Baseball starts soon, so
It does.
that's going to be.
That's
yeah.
true. Already November. It's almost 2020 already. I can rant on that too.
It's almost 2020 already. Wow, that
2020. 2022.
We're going back to the future.
I wish it was 2020. Pay me to sit at home and do nothing.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Pay me to sit at home and eat Danbury Pepe's.
Did you see that Pepe's has opened up a pizza shop in Florida?
In Florida?
Yeah.
The one in Rhode Island I heard isn't even that good, but I can't imagine one in Florida would be good.
Have you ever been to the one at Mohican?
That's one of the better. That was probably better than Danbury, but Danbury was really good. Alex says the Fairfield one is trash, but I haven't had that in a long time.
That's the original.
No, New Haven is.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, New Haven.
I've
Sorry.
never been to the New Haven one.
I didn't know there was one in Fairfield, to be honest with you. I was
One in-
thinking New Haven.
Yeah, I know Danbury, Fairfield, Mohegan, New Haven, Rhode Island, and I think there's one in Massachusetts somewhere or something. I still haven't tried the one in New Haven. I still haven't tried Sally's. I haven't tried any of the pizzas there. It's pathetic.
That's what I'm missing most. I mean, obviously, we've only been living in New York for 6 days. I used to live in this area 8-9 years ago. There's no good pizza.
Really? You're in New York though.
It's no. There's.
I guess
there
it's like
hasn't been-
upstate. No, it's not upstate New York. What is Poughkeepsie considered?
It's in Dutchess County. Some people.
What is it?
think it's
Western New
upstate.
York? Like what is it? I don't even. What would you call it? Because it's not like when you say
It's
I live in
definitely
New
not
York.
upstate.
Because if you were
It's
just
not
like I live in
upstate.
New York, people would be like Manhattan, Queens. It's like the suburbs of New York, sort of like it's weird. I
It's
don't know how
not
to
quite
describe it.
Westchester.
Yeah, but it's more along the lines of Westchester than it is Manhattan.
Yeah. But I mean, as we were getting stuff ready at the house and being here for painters and doing work and things like that, Kate would, sometimes get pizza with her mom because she was helping us and things. And they went to like 3-4 different pizza places. It's all garbage.
Like bad garbage or just like not like Pepe's? Because like
Well, no,
there's
not
very-
even not like Pepe's, not like Bambino's or any of the 37 different places I got you white pizza from.
Really?
When we lived in Danbury, it's just like the crust is floppy, like you're picking it up, the cheese is falling off. It's like this isn't pizza.
Wow, that's depressing.
I mean, hopefully we will find a good one. I hope, because I enjoy pizza. And
'Cause there's
Kate makes pizza. You saw that she made
Yeah.
pizza, yes, and she makes good pizza. That don't get me
There's-
wrong. Sometimes I like just ordering a pizza.
There's a good place in Trumbull. They have a really good barbecue chicken pizza. But like, there's one place in Connecticut that I've had where I was like, if you're ordering from there, I don't really want it. Primo Pizza, who was like college pizza, where you're like, it's really cheap, but even the shittiest pizza you'll still eat. But it's like, that's not what I want. But now it sounds like all of the pizza is like that by you, which
Yeah,
is
so far.
that's depressing because like
I was not happy.
I could probably go to the mall and get better pizza than what you're describing.
Well, actually, the mall in Danbury did have a good pizza place.
Alex says the one in Trumbull is pretty good. It's like La El Italy, some weird thing. It looks pretty good.
Italy. Okay.
I can't remember the name. I wasn't even going to try, but now I have to look. Nope, I'm never going to be able to find it. But it's a mall pizza place. It's got the standard overpriced slice, but it wasn't bad. I see we can talk about mall food. I can tell you, I could go on location. It's Sarku, chicken teriyaki, the battle of the chicken teriyaki. It's literally Sarku, which is Japanese, most famous for chicken teriyaki, Taco Bell, and then a place called Teriyaki Way, all within like 15 feet of each other. Like, why would you build a teriyaki place when you have one 2 booths down that's packed every time you go to the mall? I don't understand.
Is the pizza place called Italia Pizza and Pasta? Italia?
I think that might be it. Is it
Italia?
What's the address? Is it in the Westfield Trumbull?
Yeah, it's the Westfield Trumbull Mall.
Yeah, so that's it. That's right next to the teriyaki place.
Which teriyaki place?
The solo teriyaki place. Like, I think Sarku will have at least like you can get sushi there and stuff. But I just don't know. Like, I'm sure the mall wasn't. They don't pick like, let's open another teriyaki place. Like, they said they could pay and whatever. I'm sure they're like, but why would you go in there as the teriyaki place, seeing Sarku and go, yeah, this is a good place for us.
This is a good setup. Maybe they just believe so much in their teriyaki that they cannot.
I got it the first time. I was there for it, and it's not good especially compared to Sarku. I was like, the pieces are smaller. Maybe they improved, but like, you're not going to go head to head with Sarku at all. Like, you're just not. It's the best chicken teriyaki on the planet.
You want to know how crazy the rent is at the Danbury Mall?
I'm sure I can tell you the Taco Bell prices at the mall compared to like the one in Greenwich. It's like $2 or $3 more for everything. It's terrible.
The rent so high. McDonald's left
the Danbury Mall.
Yeah, there's
that
no
thing
more
was like a
McDonald's.
cornerstone of that mall.
There's no more McDonald's. Yeah.
Wow.
It's been closed for a while, apparently. I had no idea.
That was in the back corner by the carousel.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the one thing that sucks because we lived near a Taco Bell, which is like 5 minutes away. The mall is basically the same, but the prices are like mall prices. So it's like, I'll open the app and I'll see Greenwich, that new chicken thing, that chicken sandwich taco.
Yeah.
It's like $1.30 something at regular Taco Bell. It was like $3 at the mall. It's like, I'm not doing this. I can't. There's no way.
You know what blew my mind? One of the last days that we were living in Connecticut when we were getting ready to move, obviously Kate had packed up the kitchen and all our dishes and things like that. So we couldn't make food.
Yeah.
We had to order food. We were going to order from, I think it was DoorDash. And I never knew this. Kate's like, yeah, it's always been this way. I never knew. The prices for a restaurant on DoorDash or Grubhub are higher than if you actually got the stuff from the restaurant themselves.
Well, also Grubhub and those places put restaurants on there without their like knowledge sometimes.
Yep, I saw that. They also have
scumbags.
They also have things on there as restaurants that aren't really restaurants. It's like Denny's doing a side thing or another place doing a side thing. But we had gotten barbecue, and when we put the order together on DoorDash or Grubhub, whichever one it was like $27 more from the stuff that we got than if we'd actually ordered. I was like, screw this. I'm putting pants on and we're going out and picking it up ourselves.
And that probably doesn't even include tip.
Yeah. And it has like all the service fees for them to actually bring it to you and stuff. Like it was exorbitant.
So Taco Bell rewards, the first reward level, you get 10, I think it's 10 points for every dollar. The second rewards level is 11 points per dollar. I'm at the second level. How many points do you think I have? And it takes 250 points to earn a reward.
Wait, say that again. You have to go through that one more time.
It's 11 points per $1 spent. And remember, Taco Bell is super cheap. You can get like I'll get like 4 things for breakfast to eat throughout the day or whatever, and it's like $8 if that, depending on what the item is.
11 points per dollar.
And I've gone through. It's 250. This doesn't help how many points I have, but it's 250 points for a reward. So you get like a free taco or whatever. I currently have 7 rewards. Like I get them more often than I can use them because I usually only get breakfast at Taco Bell. And the
So
only
you said 250 points to get a reward.
yeah, which doesn't really, I mean, that doesn't mean much to you just trying to figure out how many points I have. But I currently have 6 rewards. One's an offer.
So that means you got almost 7. You have over 7,000 points.
I mean, I don't know. I can't do math. That's all you. I mean, it's a disgusting amount of points.
Well, I mean, if you have 6 rewards, let's say you had 7 rewards and you said it's 250 points.
But
per
this is
reward,
also,
that's-
I've been doing this for like probably a couple of years. I think the total.
But that's like 1,700 points. You're not 7,000.
Okay, I was gonna say, damn.
Yeah.
But it's a disgusting amount of points where you're like, you should be dead.
But then that's also, you said 11 points per dollar spent. That's almost $200 that you spent. That's like $160 that you've spent.
At least. And I think this is a point total for my lifetime. So since I've been using this app, probably a couple years, but now that I get Taco Bell breakfast like 3 times a week, and if I used to get Taco Bell breakfast every day when we still had a store in Westport, so I'd go there before work, and this was before the app, so I would have even more than this. But this is probably a good year and a half, 2 years of using the app, maybe not even that. I think I just started using it when I started working at Greenwich, so it's like about a year and a half. I am a fat piece of garbage. Oh my God. I didn't realize the points were this high even. What's your guess? Because I don't want to like, there's nothing worse than you say something and then somebody over guesses and you're like, oh shit. But
Of how many
what's your honest
total
guess?
point? Now, let me ask you a question. Obviously, you said you have 6 rewards. Have
Yeah.
you used rewards in the past? You
A lot.
absolutely have.
Usually like every couple of days in the morning, I'll be tired and I'll get like a soda because you can only redeem it for lunch food or a drink. So I'll get like a free
will
medium.
Say
Hope you don't overguess.
3,972.
Okay, good. You underguessed by a ridiculous amount. You're way under, so I'll give you another guess.
Well, now I'm going to really shoot for the moon. 11,214.
Holy shit, you are close. 11,148 points. And your second guess, can you see that?
Yeah.
Like that's
Wow.
how many rewards points I have. And like these are the rewards. You just redeem them, and then they'll give you an offer. Like it's what is it, like Nacho Day or something? I
Yeah.
missed. Ironically enough, I missed the free World Series taco
Oh,
because I refused to go to the mall and pay ridiculous prices for Taco Bell. That's how many rewards. I mean, even McDonald's, they start doing rewards now. Have you had a
I
McRib?
was so close. I have not had a McRib.
I had one the other day. I don't care how disgusting it is when they make it. It's good. It's delicious. Like, where are the rewards on
I
McDonald's?
can't believe I was so close. And you said it's 11 points per dollar spent. You
Yeah.
have spent over $1,000 at Taco Bell.
Is that true? It's
Well,
11,
no, you said 11,148 points, right?
11 points per $1, right? I think that's
yeah.
what
So
it is.
then, oh, maybe I'm doing it wrong. 11. So then you do that number divided by 11 because you're getting 11.
I don't know
points
how
for
to
every
do
dollar.
math. If I spent $1,000, that seems accurate. But
But
this
this
is how
11 points for every dollar that you spend. If you have 11,000 points, that means you spent $1,000.
that's so bad. But like McDonald's, I have 11,318 points. I don't know how they calculate points, but like you can redeem them. You can let's see what their rewards are. McDonald's, I can redeem for 1,500 points for a fucking ice cream cone. Like Taco
That's
Bell's
insane.
way better. But this
Well,
reward-
also, yeah, you said this is what, 2 years worth of using the app?
year and a half. I used to go get Taco Bell for lunch a lot. Now it's usually just breakfast.
So I'll make you feel a little bit better. That's like $12 a week that you're spending at Taco Bell.
that sounds about right because I usually work 2 days before they're open, and so three days a week I usually get breakfast, spend about anywhere from $5 to $8 depending on how fat I want to be that day. And like I'll eat, sometimes I will get like I get extra food in case I'm hungry throughout the day, and then I end up eating Taco Bell breakfast for dinner, which surprisingly, it's honestly, even though it's 12 hours old, it's not bad. Like the breakfast burrito at night, it's not bad.
You have like refrigerators just sitting in your car.
It's pretty much sitting in my backpack because like if I put it in the fridge, it'll get gross because then you have to microwave it. So I'll just leave it.
How
I'll
have you
still eat
not
it.
gotten food poisoning or salmonella? Or...
This it's all cooked. It's just if it
Yeah,
goes
but
bad or
it's
not,
sitting out at room temperature for 12 hours. That's how bacteria grows.
it's fine. It's like that Burger King sandwich I left, and you're like, "What are you doing?" It's like I'm eating it later. Put it in the fridge. No, that ruins it. Then you got to
Ugh.
reheat it. And it's gross. Yeah, I mean, I eat Taco Bell in the first place. I'm sure this longer it sits out, nothing worse is going to happen to it. It's already gross. Yeah,
If it makes you
I don't
feel any
care.
better about the amount of money that you spend at Taco Bell, when I used to have to go to an office and I wasn't work from home, since I've been work from home because of COVID, I would get a Dunkin' Donuts coffee twice a day, every day.
Twice a
So that's
day? That's a lot.
I would start in the morning with one and get one in the afternoon
Better
because
than
I wouldn't eat
Starbucks.
food. I would just drink coffee.
It's insane.
So we're talking, it's like $2.05 a coffee. So that's like $4.10 a day.
At least you didn't go to Starbucks.
Phew, I can't.
That would have been like $5 just for one.
So we're talking $1,000 a year I'd be spending just on Dunkin'
Just on
Donuts.
coffee?
Just on coffee, not donuts or anything, just coffee for myself because it's $20 a week.
That's one reason I don't even try coffee. Like, I don't think I'd like it, but then I'd be like hooked on it. And it's like, that's just extra money, extra calories. I already eat like shit anyway. I don't need the caffeine too.
See, that's why I usually will have like a splash of almond milk or something. So there's like no calories, which if you've got just black coffee, there's like 2 calories in it.
Really?
Yeah. It's
Maybe
basically
it's
just
then
beans and hot water.
probably the caffeine then, where it's like, because people are addicted to coffee. It's like, I can't start my day without coffee. It's like,
Yeah, I
don't
have
wanna-
a coffee every morning. I only have 1 cup of coffee a day now since I work from home, and it's always in the morning.
Yeah.
If I don't have it, I get a headache.
Yeah. So you're addicted to the caffeine.
Better that than heroin.
Is it though? You can have more fun on
Cheaper.
heroin.
Cheaper.
Yeah, it is cheaper. Because weren't you addicted to heroin like last year?
Meth.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's why you were all fucking crazy out of your mind during COVID.
Still am.
That's true. So this is actually pretty long. I don't know when we started recording, but the timer. By the way, remember when Griff said he didn't have a timer? It's a setting that you have to click off if you want to see. I don't know if you have it.
How do
See
I
how
do that?
long? And you're. I don't remember. I don't want to touch anything, but like I know there was a setting that says show timer.
I just see that it says recording.
So you don't see anything in the top right corner of the time.
No,
Oh,
I have to
well,
set it in my settings. I'll figure out how to do that
It's
eventually.
been about an hour and 43 minutes, so we could probably just wrap up. This was the first episode anyway, so sort of like absolutely no flow to it. We just
We had
talked
no
about
format,
random
no
stuff.
flow. It was just kind of us shooting the shit.
I don't know.
and,
Maybe people like that. I mean, if you're listening to a podcast, maybe it's just good random stuff you like. I don't know, but we'll have more. This was just sort of get on the ground, test our equipment. Hopefully,
make
the
sure
sound
everything
is
works.
good.
Obviously, I'm gonna have to fix my lighting.
And you might not even hear this because maybe the recording doesn't work. I don't know. It says recording. When I did tests on myself, it automatically saves to my desktop, and then I'll just upload that to Anchor and YouTube. So people will see Rami dancing that one time. I don't remember what time it was, but it's the party starter dance. But yeah, hopefully we don't stop after this one. Maybe we could get actual viewers. If Alex and I can grow a YouTube channel, we could probably grow a fucking podcast. And
I think so.
if nothing else, we give Randy something to listen to while he's out in the farm. I don't know if you know, Randy works on a farm
I did not know that. Is that how he listens to so many podcasts?
in Griswold, Connecticut.
Excuse
He
me?
had
Clark W.
Griswold.
Griswold?
Yes, it's up by he lives like 15, 20 minutes from both casinos. So when we go up
Really?
there, he's already like there.
I don't think
So
I knew that.
he lives, and there's I don't think he lives on this street, but there is, his last name's Ozga. There's an Ozga Lane, Ozga Way.
Oshkosh Bagosh?
There's a street with his last name on it somewhere near his house. So he's up in
Relation
the,
to the family, or
I can't remember what he said. I don't remember, but like he has a
can
farm
we
up
can
there.
we actually have Randy on
I
an
might-
episode because I have to ask him some questions. I need to know things.
I'm Randy, since I'm sure you're listening to this, we have to, I don't know if you have the technology to zoom in or Skype in or whatever in with a webcam or something. We have to get you on and have you on as a guest.
I have questions. I have questions.
I know
now.
he works like a ridiculous job. Like he'll be baling hay at sometimes. When we go up to visit him, he'll talk about,
So he's a real man, is what we're saying. Not like you and me.
He busts his
We're a bunch of
ass.
bitches. He's a real man.
Like he busts his ass every day, like baling hay. I don't think he takes care of like somebody else's cows, but he has like, I can't remember if he still takes care of cows, but he has a bunch of animals on the farm, and it's like real work, like backbreaking work. And he works for his dad, but he's like, it's very hard for him to get time off because if he's not there, nothing gets
Stuff
done.
doesn't get done.
So like basically his one vacation a year used to be like WrestleMania week. Like when we went to 35, I think he took a few days off. But he, besides there being nothing up there to do, at least he's near the casinos.
That's true.
So like we have to drive like almost 2 hours to get up there. He's like 20 minutes, which is nice.
Because you know how far it is for me now to get there?
Well, just to for me to get to you, I think it's like an hour and a half. Like I was like, I don't know if I ever want to go to any show in Poughkeepsie because we drove through Poughkeepsie to get to the Hall of Fame, and it's just like one road and like back roads and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna go visit Ramey or not.
You live in
'Cause-
Trumbull now, right?
Yeah. I
For
feel
me
like
to get to you, it's an hour and 17 minutes.
it's not terrible, but it's like one lane roads. It's like going to Danbury sometimes.
Yeah.
Or like New
it's-
Hampshire. It's one lane road. It's terrible.
For most of it, I would say you're probably like if I was going to Trumbull, I'm probably getting on the Taconic, and then I'm probably going from the Taconic to 25, I think.
That's not terrible. But I just remember like going to the Hall of Fame, like these back roads. It's like it's a highway, but it's like worse than the Merritt Highway. I was like, this is not great. So I don't know why you couldn't have just moved somewhere closer. You should have just moved to New Fairfield, your old stomping grounds.
I
no.
want no part of that MAGA infested cesspool.
New Fairfield. What's wrong with old Fairfield? Fairfield would kick the shit out of New Fairfield. 'Cause I'm
think
from
they will.
Fairfield. He's from New Fairfield. New Fairfield sucks. Fairfield is like one of the richest counties in the world.
Yes. Everything's way too expensive there.
Fairfield, Westport, and then it's unbelievable. I don't know why we haven't wrapped up yet, but this is what happens on this podcast. We're like a Jewish family. You can't fucking say goodbye. You should see our house at Thanksgiving. All right, goodbye. There's the initial goodbye. There's the goodbye at the door. There's the goodbye outside, and then there's the goodbye at the car. Can't stop fucking saying goodbye. Like
See,
this.
we should just have the type of goodbye, like the Irish goodbye or the Sopranos goodbye, just mid sentence.
I just cut it off.
Over.
So we'll see you next, and then click off. See, now I forgot what was I saying? Oh yeah, it's good. We got Fairfield, Westport, and then fucking Bridgeport. It's like, what the hell? How do you have something so crappy right next to something so like high class? Makes no
To make
sense.
the people in the lower class feel worse about themselves.
I guess, but like, there are some nice areas of Bridgeport, aren't there? It's got to be.
No, yeah, there are.
But like, it's like Newark. Yeah, there's a nice area with the arena, and that's about it. Like, there's nothing else. I wouldn't go
But also,
anywhere
it's
else.
that
in
way
Newark.
with anywhere. I mean, even where
Yeah.
I live now, there's nice places. Like I live near Vassar College. I'm like 5 minutes away from Vassar College. It's a very nice area. And then if you go 10 minutes down the road, somewhere else, I'm gonna get shot.
You should
Maybe
try
found
it.
a crack den.
You should do. Can you bring that stuff in the car, and you can go on a road trip and see how many crack dealers you find. Maybe interview one.
I could ask him if he wants to talk about his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Yes,
And
exactly.
then is he trying to run away from me? I can say stop running from the Lord.
Because I even when I go to Bridgeport, I went to the Stress Factory to see Murr. I was like, I'm uneasy because Bridgeport, like, there was a homeless dude a couple of years ago got like his eye eaten, and I'm like, I don't. Hector,
Did he eat it himself?
No,
or-
he got. I think he got murdered, or I don't know if he died or not. But Hector was like, yeah, I know that guy. I don't. The first time I went to Hector's house in Bridgeport, we had to break into his own house. So I was like, I just want to get out of here. His doors were locked, so he just broke into his own window.
Oh, I had to do that.
And I was like, I feel uneasy. Walk me to my car. Let me get out of here.
I told you that, didn't I? During COVID last year when we had quarantine and stuff, we didn't have power because we had a storm. You went to your parents' house. It was during one of the storms in like August. It was like August 2020. We lost power for like 5-6 days.
Was that the really, really bad one where like all of the food was bad?
Yeah, we had to lose everything, and we had no power, things like that.
I vaguely
Kate and
remember
I
you
went out
telling me this.
to do something like outside, and I accidentally locked the door. Didn't have our phones.
You didn't have your keys?
Didn't have keys because we went out like in the yard to do something. So
Oh,
we were like,
I was like, what the hell? Where were you going?
no, it wasn't even out in the yard to do so. I don't know why we went outside. We were like still in our pajamas. It was like early in the morning, and I
Wow.
locked the front. The front door was already locked. I locked the garage door by accident. So the door that you'd use from the garage to get into the laundry room.
How
I
do you
had
lock
door
that
locked.
one?
I don't know why I did, but it was locked.
Maybe you were the person who locked it that one time I came home and it was locked and you had no idea.
It probably was me by accident.
Jeez.
I had to break in our own house. Kate had to hoist me up
Of course,
I
she
had
had to
to-
hoist you up.
because she wasn't willing to do it. I had to
Ah.
crawl in through the window in the kitchen, fell onto the kitchen table.
You're lucky that window was open. Was it
It-
open?
It was unlocked.
Oh, you're
I
lucky.
broke the screen off of it and pulled it up and then fell into the house. Had it
That's-
not been, I would have had to have broken a window.
I wonder how you, because there was no way to get in from where I was. This is just that one door, and the windows are way too small. Although you,
Yep.
actually, no, you could have gotten it. Yeah, you could have broken into my place because I had the air conditioning in probably.
Yeah.
You could have knocked that out. That's hilarious though.
Well, my if had that not worked, I was going to end up breaking the window in the back porch by the patio.
Mm.
But then no, that wouldn't have even worked because then the glass door was locked. So I was gonna have to break an actual window to the house.
That would have been great if you broke a window to get in and still be locked out. That would have been great.
Oh, you didn't hear. So you know that you've obviously were in the house at some point and you were, you'd come upstairs to watch Royal Rumble or whatever. That huge wood dining room table that we had that was in the back, like where I always used to sit when we
Yeah.
would record and things like that, and it had that glass top on it.
It had a glass top on it.
Yeah, it was a glass top on top of the wood.
I don't think I noticed that.
It was like it's like one of those like 4-inch thick, like unbreakable glass.
I probably did, but I that's weird because it just looked like wood.
5 days before Kate and I were moving, we weren't taking this table with us anyway. It was like part of the family. Like we were just leaving it. Same with that huge hutch that was always behind me
Yeah.
and everything. That's always where I work from. That's where I have my laptop set up for work. That's my area where I work from.
Yeah.
I got annoyed at work. Kate's sitting in the kitchen. She was working from home that day. She's sitting in the kitchen at the kitchen table working. I'm sitting at that chair. I got frustrated with work. Remember, this is 4-inch thick, like unbreakable, cannot break. I get mad. I bang my fist down once, bang my fist down again. Second time, the entire thing shatters.
Oh, what?
Glass all over my
How
hand.
long ago was this? Like 5
This
days
was-
before you moved?
It was like 5 days before we moved. So now I'm like freaking the F out because I don't know what the hell to do. Like, this is unbreakable. First of all, like, how the
It's
F did that
glass
happen?
on top of the wood, so it just shattered in there. It didn't. It's
Yeah.
not like the table like fell through because there's wood under it.
No, just the glass
just the
shattered.
That's
And it didn't, the piece I hit shattered. And then
How-
like it's probably a 60-pound piece of glass.
How loud
It was
was
like
it?
in 5 pieces.
oh
It was pretty loud. My hand was, I think I actually still have a little bit of glass shards in my hand. I didn't bleed badly. Like it didn't cut me deep. But now I'm like, okay, obviously I don't want the cat to step in glass. I don't want to step in glass. Like I have to figure out how to take care of this. So I'm like, I can't really pick it up because it's sharp, jagged edges of glass
Yeah,
now that
that's-
I've broken it. So I'm sitting there like, Kate got me mittens, like winter mittens that I put on. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to put it in like a garbage bag to be able to get it into like the huge garbage to put outside. So
can you even throw that
finagled-
away? Like glass like that?
You can throw glass away in the recyclables. So I lock the cat up. I get the recyclable garbage can from the garage, bring it into
Into the house?
put it on the back porch,
That thing
and I'm
was
trying to
nasty.
like pick up pieces of the glass to place it in the garbage. It's too big still. Parts are too big to fit into the garbage.
Do you have a
So
hammer?
I'm like, okay, get me a huge construction bag. So we get a huge construction bag to put the glass in there. And I'm like, okay, now to get it to fit in the thing, I'm going to break it in
Yeah.
the bag to get it to be. I'm not even kidding you. I broke a sweat. I got a heavy mallet. It was like a 5-pound mallet. So it's like this big.
Almost 4 inches of glass.
I had to hit it probably 190 times repeatedly, same spot before it would break. How did my hand break that effing glass?
How long is that? How long have you owned that table? Has it been like in the family for a while?
I
I
mean,
wonder if-
I remember having Christmas dinner on that table.
I
30
wonder if
years
it
ago
was
with
like
my
like a weak area that you happened to hit
I had to have found like a weak area of the.
and
Of
like
it?
only cracked in that spot, and then like you beat the shit out of it and it wouldn't break. That's insane.
It took me hours to be able to actually get it to break down. Ended up being able to throw all of it into the trash, get it taken care of.
I would have
But
given up. What else? What
I
do you-
couldn't. Like I was like we were moving. Like I had to do something.
You should have left it for your dad. Like surprise. Like what?
Well,
what
I
would you?
still have stuff left at the house that I have to get rid of, but I haven't yet.
Like what do you even do in that situation? Let's say you weren't moving and you're just like you have that and it won't break. Like, can you call somebody to pick it up? Is
Yeah,
it like
you
a
could
company
call,
that'll
like-
take like
Well,
junk?
even the people that end up doing our moving would like haul junk and stuff like that. At one point, I'm like, I had it in the construction bag. I'm like, I'm gonna put it in the woods.
What the
I'm
hell's a
like, no, I can't do
construction?
that. What if a kid goes there?
Yeah, what's a construction bag?
It's a heavy duty garbage bag, but it's like for construction. It's like
Huh.
it's like
And it didn't-
150 gallons.
It didn't cut through it.
Oh no, it did.
Oh, all right.
There's like when I put one of the sharp pieces of glass in, and like I'm putting it in the bag, Kate's like, the thing just goes right through, almost gets me right in the face. I'm like,
Oh
this
my
is not
God.
going to end well.
So that table's just. I'm sure you can get a new piece of glass, but like,
Yeah, I mean, I could care less. It's
Did
not
they
my
say
problem
anything?
anymore.
did
They
you
haven't-
even tell them?
Oh, I told my mom, I was like, you're never going to believe this. She's like, how did that break? I'm like, I don't know. Apparently, and this was the same day I got my COVID booster shot. So like my arm is sore. I feel like crap.
Oh
and
my
I
God.
apparently
Wait, were
the
you
COVID
du- were-
vaccine gives me superpowers.
Were you dumb enough to get it in your dominant arm again?
Well, I got my flu shot and the COVID shot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I got one in one arm, one
Which
in the other
one
arm.
was-
So for like
Was
for
the flu,
fucking 2 days, I'm sitting there like that because I can't move my
does the
arms.
flu shot make your arm sore too?
Yeah,
Because I've never had the flu shot.
really, you should.
I don't think I've had the flu either. So
Don't
I
jinx
just
yourself.
like I've never even thought to get the flu shot. Maybe I should, but I don't trust I have to do my own research
Great,
first.
you got to do your own.
I have to
Do you want
check
to
it.
tweet Joe Rogan? See
Yeah,
what he
I
thinks?
gotta if he'll respond, I gotta get him or maybe Dr. Oz or somebody like that. Let me know what's in the
that's smart.
what's in the flu vaccine. I don't really trust it. I feel like it's a microchip. I feel
Well,
like
I think it was Rex Chapman, who I love following on Twitter. He was tweeting the other day, like, athletes have to get Toradol shots and things like that. He was like, half of them can't even fucking spell Toradol, let alone what's in
Yeah,
it, and they still
but,
get it
like,
to be able to play.
if Aaron Rodgers got cancer and was like, we need to start treatment immediately, you think he'd wait to do his own research? He'd just
No,
trust
he would
the
probably do
doctors.
something homeopathic and go to
That's
some
true.
herbalist.
It's a bad example, but like in that situation, you're not talking to your doctor like I need to check out the research and what I should do. You need to just give me your medicine and get the cancer away. Like
Well, Anthony Rizzo, he had, what was it, prostate cancer when he was younger?
I forget what cancer it was, but I know
But he had to
cancer.
obviously have to do either radiation or chemotherapy, something like that. Wouldn't get the vaccine.
Yeah, I don't get it. That's a great way to end. Anthony Rizzo, maybe future Yankees. Maybe we'll re-sign him. I don't know. So I don't think I don't think Freddie Freeman's leaving. Atlanta.
He shouldn't leave, but if he did,
I mean,
throw him a
Atlanta,
boatload of money.
they have money, right? They're not going
They
to let him
should.
go, are they? Are they one of
They
those
shouldn't.
teams that let their players go? Like it doesn't. I don't really know too many like big time all-stars that the Braves have had. Like Freddie's been their best player for a while before Acuna, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, think back to
Since
the
Chipper Jones retired, like
Chipper Jones, they had Javi Lopez, but that was the
they didn't have like
mid-90s.
they didn't have like a Mark Teixeira who would left or like CC or something like that. There was no like he's their biggest star. Like they have to keep him, but maybe they won't. I mean, look at the National. Although they did win with him, the Nationals losing.
Now,
Bryce
can I just
Harper and
ask a
then winning the
question?
World Series.
Did you name drop Mark Teixeira on purpose, knowing that he was a Brave?
No, I didn't even dawn on me. Was he a Brave for like half a season?
He got traded to the Braves in July of 2017, or 2027, July of 2007, 27. He was
Like,
hitting,
damn.
wow. I just had a stroke, I think.
2017. Because he
In
was on
2007. And then the following year, the Braves traded him at the deadline
So-
to the Angels.
so the Rangers traded him with like 2 years left.
Yeah.
And then, all right, because I remember he was only on the Angels for half a season. So he was on the Braves for the equivalent of a full season, but it was half of one and half of another.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he was supposed to go to the Red Sox. It
He was supposed
like,
to go to the Red
he was
Sox,
not
and then we
even
signed
like
him.
in the conversation of the Yankees. We were all like, it's no chance. We're not even. And then he came here and forgot how to hit for average. So
Didn't he hit for average like his first season on the
I think
Yankees?
everyone does. Giambi did too, and then they all like, oh, this short porch. Let me get rid of let me get rid of my average and just try to hit 50 home runs, which nobody ever did. It wasn't like we had a 50 home run season, 60 home run season from one of these guys, and when they hit 210, they'll hit
Well,
like
even Giambi, his first year with the Yankees, he actually hit well.
314 or something like that.
Yeah, he hit 314 with like
Why do I know
47
what
home runs or
Giambi?
something
Because
like
we've
that,
talked
40
about
home
this
runs.
many times before. It's the short porch curse. They come over and they see it. They're still who they were, and then the next year after that, they're like, "All right, we're going for it." Mark Teixeira wouldn't lay down a goddamn bunt. I get paid to hit home runs. You don't hit any.
at least Joey Gallo drops down bunts.
Yeah, exactly. He'll hit 205, but he'll drop down a bunt.
And
All right.
actually, Mark Teixeira's first season with the Yankees, he hit 292 with 39 home runs and 122 RBIs.
Yeah, 292, and then it dropped to what, 240?
never batted above 256 again.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. All right, we sort of ended on a little mini rant. So that was this, that, and I just realized we didn't actually introduce ourselves, but we can save that for like the actual episode.
Yeah, this is episode -1 or episode 0. The actual first ever. This was the test episode.
Yeah, this
the
is
first ever episode. We'll give it who we are. What
This is our pilot. We'll let you know if we're canceled or not. I think I'm gonna call it episode 0. I like that better. So hopefully Ramey will have better lighting. Although the lamp is really nice. It would look better if you had another nightstand and another lamp, and you're just between two lamps.
Yeah,
that's what we should have called that. That's what we should have called it. Between two.
We call this episode between two lamps.
Between two lamps. I don't know what we're gonna do for episode titles. I feel like I just call it episode 1, 2, 3. Because
I feel like the course of what we're talking about, we probably come up with
what I was gonna say. Was there anything? I don't think there was anything today. I'm just gonna call it episode 0, the pilot, or episode 0. Something.
Well, actually, we should call it between two lamps and see if somebody actually listens long enough to the very end to know why we're calling it between two lamps.
Parentheses, please listen to the whole episode to find out why we're calling it this. But then you only have one lamp. Like we call it between two lamps. Like, Ken, I'll get Photoshop.
But the reason why we want to is for future episodes.
That would be nice.
Stay tuned to see if I have another lamp.
But then, can we call it that if I'm not between two lamps? Maybe I'll get a second fan, and I can be between two fans. Like, these are my fans. Get it? I have lots of fans. Fuck you. I'm out of here. This is it. I'm not doing this podcast anymore. Unbelievable. What a great joke. This gets
God.
No sold the joke. These are my fans. I have more fans than you do. Randy, just remember, when Randy's our only listener, I brought Randy in here. I created Randy. Oh, he's cackling. He's cackling. What a great way to end. See, if we ended 10 minutes ago, we wouldn't have had the best part of the podcast. That's why the long goodbyes are good.
Oh my God, I really no-sold that.
Unbelievable. These are my fans. Nothing. And then you burst out laughing because you burst out laughing at your own no-sell.
Oh my God, I'm actually crying from laughing too much. The only time that's ever happened to me is the last time my wife saw me naked.
Which was what, on your wedding night?
Oh, not even then. I got too drunk.
That's true. So the good thing we have this on video. Imagine if we had the GoPod on video when we all started laughing when I said, pour me a glass of milk. And Alex started laughing. And then you, having no idea what that meant, you just started laughing.
I was laughing because he was laughing so hard.
All right. So episode 0 has come to an end. Hopefully episode 1 is up before 2022, not 2020. We're not going back in time. Hopefully we get another one soon. And we'll have a better format, which you'll do all the work for.
I will 100% do all the work.
And I will text you in a few minutes letting you know if this was completely for nothing and it didn't save, but it should have an audio file and it should have a video file that will go on YouTube. Hopefully. All right. I'm stopping the recording. Thank you for listening. Randy.